Yep, I keep forgetting to download the correct one. I keep forgetting to download the correct. I like the new one you did. You know, I keep changing everything, but you know what? What the hell? We're going with the old one again. That works. Oh, thank God only 4 people are seeing this. All right. Oh, wrong picture. Oh God, wrong one. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'll finish this at some point. There we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Humpty Dump. I'm Scott of Sporking News Podcast, and with me tonight is the one, the only Culture Casino.
Well, hello, Scotty. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. I always like those chips.
They're very good. I'm actually done. I'm not going to eat during the stream, but let me tell you, a little bit of chips and hot sauce will really get your day going. So
yeah, it's that spice that will wake you up, you know.
Yeah. But there's my
no, go back. We got him, everybody. We got him. Yeah, you said you're gonna stop. Lies.
Did.
Oh my God.
One of the artists. Hey, don't worry, it's the intro. Not many people are paying attention yet.
That's good.
Welcome to the channel. Bubblegum Pop himself, the artist, the mod supreme, Makini 90.
Yeah, it's me. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, where you are. Hey, it's Makini 90, artist illustrator, and happy to be here. I'm fired up, but fired up in a positive way, more like in the zone, and I'm just ready to go tonight.
That's what I like to hear, man.
Plus, I'm keeping my camera off just so we don't get demonetized, but. I'll just show it one time.
You showed it to me. Hold on. Mm-hmm. You want to show it now or like midway? Show it now.
One at the beginning and one at the end.
Go for it. Look at them thighs. Damn.
That's going to be tomorrow's stream. So.
That's unbelievable.
That's all I'm going to say.
Uh-oh, my child's coming. Take it off. Okay.
I just took it off.
Yeah, that's Minnie Mouse. That wasn't anything different. No. So how's everybody doing? Okay, so we got emotionally unstable amphibian. What is my problem lately with reading the chat? I stutter like
it's a problem with words. Like you see
words,
Yeah.
You know what it is? It could be the ADHD where my brain is ahead of my mouth. Like I'm past that. I'm already on to Cody guy like saying hail while I'm reading emotionally unstable amphibian hail. So I'm gonna slow down. The Time Prophet, hail all, brutal morning wood, and a heart. Keely Chow, hey everybody.
Well, hey.
This is exciting YouTube. Tina Bojan saying good evening all. We also have Joakim Stark. We have our first super chat of the evening, and that's from a Latino Slant for $5, who is always welcome on this panel. Much love to you, Scott and panel.
Wally.
Getting show ready, but always want to throw my money and support to good peeps like you. One vision, baby. And if you guys don't know, like pretty much right after this show, I think Paulie starts. Paulie, put it in the chat. I want to say you start at 9 o'clock Eastern or Pacific, or am I wrong on that? But it comes on after this. You know, you got a couple good shows after this. You got ETEP and you got Paulie, and it kind of you could slide from one to the next. ETEP's great. Paulie's great. I love those dudes. Show both.
Don't forget me and OrdsBored. We play Fortnite.
Yeah, and you guys are late though, right? You guys are what
It's
time?
a little late. Yeah, a little later, like around 7 or so. And then Infinite Talks,
Pacific,
of course.
right?
Yep. And then Infinite Talks. So yeah, plenty for your Wednesday night entertainment.
There's a lot going on. I like to see Latino Slant get the support he deserves. He just moved to that area, or that time slot. So let's give him the support. And he's one of the best dudes out there, and the best looking guy, right? He's the best looking guy in YouTube. My daughter believes that too, and she's 3 years old, so they don't lie. God, they don't lie.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I said, is this guy better looking than Daddy? She was like, yes. I'm like, how about Drunk 3PO? She's like, yeah, better looking than Drunk 3PO. I was like, damn, really? She's like, yes.
Did she really say that?
No, she didn't.
Yeah,
at Sporking News Podcast, Hale, working on this essay video about to go up. So, guys, after this stream, make sure to give Storyman Jack your support also. What do you have to say about that, Culture? About supporting others?
Oh, I think it's key in this. That's all I'm about. I think you guys know that. I love to go around and support everybody in our community. I'm actually, that seems to become quite the problem for me.
Yes, I'm with you on that, dude. Well, the truth is I don't know everybody either. So it's hard to say I support everybody that I've actually talked to.
Yeah.
And I try my best to even support people that I like. You know, there's smaller channels like Free Folk of the Fandom, just another oh my god, I'm screwing
another
up.
normie.
Yeah,
just another normie.
I'm sorry, dude.
Just another red shirt. You have a lot of
I know,
a lot of people.
But like, I watch Storyman Jack. I watch Latino Slant.
Yeah.
I watch as many as I can. I mean, Latino Slant's one of my favorite channels. So,
he's an awesome guy. He supports everybody in the community. He does amazing things. He's charitable. He's kind. He's everything that you should be when you are appealing to the public.
And his lady's spicy.
She's very spicy.
Spicy.
Incredibly lovable.
Yes, and a fine actress, if I may say so myself. Glinser, he says, multiple tabs always open, multiple streams always running. Y'all keep my PC busy. Is my child very loud right now?
Medium loud.
Medium
a
loud?
little
Okay.
bit. A little
My
bit.
wife's supposed to come get her at some point. It was one of those nights. And the Marby Dog says, good evening, everybody. So good evening to you.
What's up,
Guys,
Marby Dog?
I want to start out somewhere. Oh, correction. 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry. So we usually end around 9:30. So if you jump over there, I'm fine with that, guys. Give the support.
Yeah.
I already have my watch time, my watch hours. I think, Latino Slant's also monetized.
Monetized.
Go after it.
No, but you know, obviously,
multiple tabs.
Is Midnight's Edge in Espanol?
Espanol, not yet, but it needs to be. We need to work on that one.
Yeah. Hold on one second. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. Well, so we have, several people now in the chat. Thanks for being here, guys. I have to say I appreciate everybody hanging out today. Glinzer, I know what it's like to have multiple tabs open, dude. Believe me. In order to keep up with everybody, I think you have to.
Yes.
You know, you got, you know, you always have the comic people that we support, all the different comic books and everything else, all of that stuff. So
I have a question for you.
Me?
Yeah. I messaged Odyssey, and they said that I'll be able to live stream now.
Cool.
So all I see is prepare an upcoming live stream. It says my name, Odyssey, and it's / at Sporking News Podcast. So that means I have the ability, right? It has a URL
Yep. Yeah. You need that stream key information that you get from,
We'll have to look at that
that you
later,
get from
'cause-
there. And then you plug that into StreamYard
Yeah.
to do the ingestion at Odyssey. It's actually pretty straightforward.
Because it says enter a URL for your thumbnail. Like I don't know exactly. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, we'll take a look at it. But I do have a question for you guys. Because I would like to stream on both YouTube and Odyssey at the same time. And then the last hour on Odyssey alone.
Yeah.
YouTube is, as we have seen, and we're not going to go into this story quite yet, but we have seen some emails come out that people knew what the former president, or our last president, was saying a year ago was true, or at least had, maybe not true, but was viable to research and look into. And YouTube and Twitter and Facebook actually shut people down, shut down channels, shut down Facebook accounts for people that said it could have came from this place and not the animal kingdom, if you know what I mean. Odyssey will let us talk about that. YouTube still will not. Facebook, on the other hand, is actually allowing people now to talk about it, which shocked me, but YouTube still will not let us. What do you, freedom of speech, man.
You know what? It worked. It's working really well for Wes Moody. So I say go for it.
Yeah.
If it's going to work for you, then go for it. I mean, in fact, Culture is going to do his Culture
my
News
new
Network
Yeah.
on Odyssey. So
I think it's
That's
smart.
right.
I don't
Go
know
for it.
why the Time Prophet's not joining Odyssey, and it's spelled a little differently, but Odyssey is the way to go. They are freer. They pay you in crypto, and if you don't,
You monetize. You monetize before you even do your first video, because
everything's
you can get.
monetized.
Yeah. If you watch a video, you get crypto. If you watch so many videos, you earn crypto watching videos, and you earn crypto making videos.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool.
I
It's a good
really,
ecosystem.
I think it's smart, guys, and it's just the wave of the future. There has to be a David to the Goliath.
Yeah. Well,
There
there needs to
always
be
has to
more than there needs to be there needs to be a whole lot to overcome Pharaoh. But
Is my audio still low?
you sound a little lower than normal. Hey,
yeah, you
Clark.
sound a little lower than normal. Mhm.
Okay. Check.
Yeah, you sound fine.
Okay. I don't even know how to
There
fix
you go.
it. I'm such an
There
idiot.
you go.
So that's the first time anyone said I sound low. YouTube hates the X-Files slogan. Yeah, exactly. I can't use crypto at my news agents. LOL. Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I hear you. Guys, did any of you guys watch Jupiter Legacy?
I've heard
heard
good
some
things
things.
about it.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. I've heard some stuff. I have not seen it. So.
I liked it. It did have the right, to me, it had the right amount of social justice type stuff where it wasn't social justice. It was actual history. Like, yes, they brought up how a man in the 20s, a black man was treated in the 20s, but they didn't linger on stuff like that. It was actually more about, to me, it was more about like an immigrant's journey, how the first generation immigrants work hard, earn what they got with, hardships and hard sweat and tears. And the next generations start to forget what they went through, and they just are entitled. So that's kind of how I saw it, but it got a lot of good responses from people. Well, Jupiter Legacy is done at Netflix as streamer explores other Miller World projects. So, yeah, they're canceling it. At least after one season and leaving it hanging. The last episode is hanging, bro.
That's
Like, it is set up not for a 1 season deal. This was not meant to be 1 season. Now, I don't know if the actors only signed one year contracts and maybe wanted more money because it was a hit. I don't know, but
I was going to ask how well was it doing on Netflix?
I thought it was killing it, actually. I might be wrong.
Yeah, it's just okay. It
But
just sounds odd.
Netflix has been known to cancel projects that are decently. Someone explained it to me once on YouTube very well, where Netflix will cancel a show after a couple seasons to keep their ratio of cancellation to new projects up to a certain level. I remember Tom or somebody talking about it when I was on their channel. Culture, do you know anything about that? Like, they cancel shows that shouldn't be canceled because they feel the need to.
Well, and they don't want the content to become stale. You know, and if something isn't pulling the numbers that they're very metric oriented with money. So it absolutely needs. I'm loud. Okay, I'm turning it.
No, you sound fine. You sound fine.
Oh, you sound fine.
All right. But they use the metrics of the finances that costs, what it costs them to make, buy, whatever, as like a fixed number. Like this show should cost X, it should generate X number of views. If these two things aren't in balance, then if it's stale, we get rid of it.
Right.
So
right.
This didn't pull in quality stuff, then
do we know?
There you go.
I'm gonna look that up.
I'd have to look up the Samba data, but we could probably find it over the course of next
if one of you guys don't mind looking for that while I read a little bit. I know we're more free form now, but I kind of want to read this because it came out like 50 minutes before we went. So I was shocked by it because I did enjoy this story. I thought it was really interesting. How they got their powers, how old they are, how long these people have been alive. Like, I found it very interesting. And I think I like what Soul Assassin says here. It's the rule of three, Sporks. First generation builds a franchise. Second keeps it going, but I'll add in out of responsibility and honor for the first generation, maybe not out of love. And the third destroys the franchise. I believe that at times. I have a good friend whose dad created a really, really big sheetrock and actually mason company, and he followed in his dad's footsteps because out of respect, what will the next generation do?
So that's it up.
Yeah. Keely, we're gonna take a look at that. Guess I won't be finishing it then. Finish it. It's still good. I still would finish it. It's one of those seasons where I enjoyed it no matter what. Other people see things sometimes I don't see. I try not to watch other channels before I make my decision. And then I'll allow sometimes Gary or Critical Drinker or Culture or never Steven though. Never Steven. But somebody else might catch something that I like. Either it didn't strike me in the same way it struck them, but once they say it, I can't not see it then, so that's why I like to make my initial decision. Everybody's mad. Mama Bear, what's up? Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
What I'm looking, it's fallen out of the top 10 Netflix shows on the streaming service and has a 38% from Rotten Tomatoes.
Is that 38% critic or?
I think it might be 38% critic review, whatever. But for the viewer votes on TV series finale, it's at 9.47 out of 10 with 272 votes. It's 38% critic, 72% audience.
Okay. So Jupiter Legacy is ending at Netflix, though the streamer isn't done with creator Mark Miller's world altogether. In a Twitter statement Wednesday, Miller said he's beginning work on a live-action adaptation of Super Crooks, which after I started watching Jupiter Legacy, I looked into it. It's dope if he actually pulls this off too, which takes place in the same fictional world, but focuses on the villains. Now, the reason why I say that, if you watch this season, I wonder if really this Super Crooks is season 2 of Jupiter Legacy. You know what I mean? Like, instead of it's staying as Jupiter Legacy, it's actually season 2 of it with the same cast and everything, but I don't know. We've made the tough call of letting our incredible cast out of their show commitments. Wow. I'm really proud of what the team achieved with Jupiter Legacy and the amazing work everyone did on the origin season. I've been asked a lot about what we're planning next with the world, and the answer is to see what supervillains are getting up to. Netflix has given a series order to Super Crooks, which follows a group of villains planning a monumental heist. The live-action show, which is in its early stages, will live alongside an anime-style series based on the same material. That show is set to have its world premiere at the Annecy International Animation Film Festival in June.
Oh, okay.
So I'm disappointed by this, man. I really am. I really dug this show. I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat? If you watched it, let me know if that bothers you. Glinster does say maybe CW can pick up Jupiter Legacy, or are the ratings too high? No, they'll kill it though.
No, that'll destroy it. So it probably needs to go to another service.
Yeah. Well, Clay has a very good point. I think airing it so soon after Invincible may have hurt it because the stories are similar. They're not similar, but they are about more realistic superheroes. So I get what he means by that. I don't know. It bothers me though. I just wanted to touch. I wasn't planning on talking about that, but it definitely bothered me, man.
It just, I think for what it sounds like with the landscape in Netflix is just that maybe because they're so tight on like money and stuff that it runs the risk of a lot of shows being able to make it past a first season.
Right. Does anybody know what this is about? Speaking of the CW, to Roger Corman, if you're thinking about rebooting Black Scorpion, whatever you do, don't go to Greg Berlanti and the CW. Are they thinking about rebooting Black Scorpion?
Wow, that would be weird.
That would be weird, and that's honestly good advice to stay far away from Berlanti as possible with how bad, a lot of the recent stuff has become and how much they've fallen, including, Batwoman, our favorite punching bag. Yeah, it's just you stay away from Berlanti, go anywhere else, and make sure you have a good showrunner.
Yeah, when did that come out? That came out like in the early 2000s, didn't it? That was like a Canadian show, wasn't it? Am I thinking of the right show? I might be thinking of the wrong what Black Scorpion is. Unless he's talking about the CBS Scorpion, but I don't think he is. Give me a little more information, bro. Or Keely. It's the Black Scorpion from 2001. I want to find that. That's interesting. Some streaming services don't know they have a good thing, even it looking it right in their face. I thought it was better than The Boys. See, so I mean, people really like that Jupiter. I'm telling you, man. Mm-hmm. I would like people now, even though it's being canceled. I want to see what people think. So I'm supporting a keep Jupiter legacy going. Why can't you have more than one thing in the same universe? I don't understand that. You had some great actors in that and some great plot lines, even though I figured out the villain pretty early on, but still, it was still enjoyable. I don't know. But Black Scorpion, so the one I'm looking at is Black Scorpion is an action crime TV series that aired on the Sci-Fi Channel in 2001. The series is based on two Roger Corman Showtime TV movies, Black Scorpion 1995 and the sequel Black Scorpion 2 Aftershock. The show focuses on a female police officer by night, takes to the streets and fights crime as a superhero, the Black Scorpion. I do vaguely remember that. But yeah, rebooting it, it's going to be like a social justice warrior, fighting the world. That's pretty much what it's going to be. I wanted to go here next because I had some questions for you guys about this. So, Disney's batting 1,000 during Pride Month.
What's Disney doing now?
Disney is hit with a sexual orientation discrimination suit by ABC's signature VP on the first day of Pride Month. Now, we've discussed this before. We discussed hide articles. We discussed this sexual orientation class they had, I believe. Correct, Culture?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Mm-hmm. So Disney
this is a new one.
Yeah. Okay, so
Disney
Disney
this is brand new.
Well, the lawsuit's brand new, but we've heard about this.
Oh, yeah.
This class, this orientation.
Yeah.
Disney may be gearing up for the traditional celebration of Pride Month, but on Tuesday, a longtime executive has hit the House of Mouse with a lawsuit citing discrimination based on sexual orientation. Plaintiffs has direct and repeated complaints to HR about the discrimination he has endured while employed by defendants and what's that word? Concomitantly? Right here?
I can't see where you are.
Concomitantly, I'll say that.
Yeah.
The related failures to promote him and to pay him at the same level as other department heads, said the complainant. Yeah. Oh, so this is actually like he's being discriminated because he's gay or LGBTQ.
Yeah. And again, this is a VP. This is not like a low-level position.
Right.
Part of his claims are that he's been shoved into a disadvantageous career path that he essentially calls a dead end. I believe it references it here in the story, but there is an awful lot to this. And believe me, there are an awful lot of these stories.
Yeah. Well, you did cover this, right, on your amazing show, The 6 Minute Daily?
Yeah. And again, the nice thing about that is with the 6 Minute Daily, I only touch the surface of these stories, and with panel shows like this, we get a chance to dive a little deeper.
So
I really like it. So anyway, his attorneys filed this lawsuit in Los Angeles Superior Court on the first day of Pride Month, and his. I'll read the quotes here from the suit. After his sexual orientation became known to his superiors and after being discriminated against and put on a dead-end career track and repeatedly denied promotions with no remedy or relief from HR, he made multiple complaints to HR, by the way.
Really?
Plaintiff is informed and believes that yet again in or around April 2021, several promotions occurred, but plaintiff once again was not promoted. Continues to 10-page filing for sexual orientation discrimination and failure to prevent discrimination in violation of California's Fair Employment and Housing Act. You can actually read the suit if you want to, but that's a lot of stuff.
Right.
Anyway, so plaintiff is informed and believes that these promotions occurred despite representations that Disney was hurting financially and not promoting. So remember, they were in big trouble back then because nothing was open. The parks were closed, the studios were closed, the theaters were closed. Disney was essentially closed for business, right?
Right. Well,
the name...
Is Marby right? Is Marby being straight here? Straight here. No pun intended. No, he's being discriminated against because he's not gay enough. Like, I'm being honest. Like, is it like this is a straight guy who's getting passed up because they're trying to promote diversity?
Well, look, I mean, if he identifies as whatever he identifies as, and he thinks it's, again, California's certain, their laws are written in a not great way.
Yeah.
So a lot of these newer laws, when it comes to this stuff, are written so softly that there's so much ambiguity that anybody could file a suit for this cause. But anyway, the named defendants are the Walt Disney Company, ABC Signature Studios Inc., and Riverside Television Services LLC. Those are all Disney Company things.
Right. Disney.
So currently a VP production finance at the 2020 formed ABC Signature. Hopkins joined the company in 1994 as director of production finance for Buena Vista TV. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was about to say.
In 2000, he was promoted to VP production finance for Touchstone TV. Also cool. Around the same time, according to the complaint, plaintiff's sexual orientation as a gay man became known. There you go.
Okay.
And including plaintiff's direct supervisor. Wow, they name him here. Jim Hedges, the CFO of ABC, Chief Financial Officer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I first of all, it became known, again, you would have to show that everything changed from that moment forward, and perhaps he can. But anyway, Hopkins is seeking compensatory damages, punitive damages, and various lawsuit costs. Damages that could really start racking up if a judge takes into consideration what Hopkins could have earned over the decade he had moved up the Disney corporate food chain accordingly, which is true. You have to also consider that Disney is not a company that's been, straightforward when it comes to hiring, pay, every other thing. In fact, there have been multiple lawsuits against them, including a recent one that was settled with about the animation.
Right.
Folks, people in animation. They found themselves in some hot water there. So Disney does this kind of stuff. This is not unusual, but this is the first time I've seen this particular thing from a company that is clearly as liberally biased as Disney is.
I mean, look at this. I mean, it's Disney. They have a flag and everything. But my question is this. You're moving up the corporate ladder. You hit VP status, where in my company there's redundancy with VPs. They get to too many, and then a new head comes in, axes a bunch of them, works fine for a while, and then they create new positions that are redundant. My question is once he hit VP, how much more room for growth really is there? There's CFO, COO. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they're okay. So you
different
may not,
departments heads.
Yeah, you can move into
different department heads. Yeah,
you can move into a division that has an executive VP. And then of course you have president. You have, and there are many presidents too. There's many EVPs, many VPs, many presidents of these different segments of their business. They're different divisions. So, but yeah, it's insane. But here's the crux of it. The plaintiff is also informed and believes that his compensation is less than other individuals who are also department heads, and that his title is lower than other individuals who are also department heads, especially for someone of plaintiff's experience and tenure. So there you are. It looks like these lawyers are suited up. So this is going to be interesting.
It will be. Sporking News podcast from Storyman Jackie says leadership are lying to all of these woke people. They don't believe any of this baloney sausage, of course. And check your DM, dude.
Let me ask you this, Culture. Do you think that we'll be seeing more cases like this come up to surface, especially not just from like Disney and even during Pride Month?
Well, Disney's actually opened themselves up to a lot of different kinds of lawsuits of late, by trying to push, obviously, the Marxist teachings, the critical race stuff, all of that, and you're starting to see more and more of that. Hey, Story Man, good to see you, buddy. But it's interesting here because if you read to the end of this, you'll see that they'd already filed a complaint with California's Department of Fair Employment and Housing in April. They closed it April 30th, essentially telling him you have the right to sue.
Wow, they did?
Yep.
Hey, Storyman Jack, how are you, my friend?
How you guys doing? I'm doing a lot better.
Good.
That's great to hear, man.
My black eyes and my swollen face are now gone. That's why I've been offline for several weeks. Yeah. I had my septum
that's why deviated septum, right?
Yeah, I was getting migraines because of the weather here. We've had 3 weeks of rain. Yeah. And the mold I was just laying in bed curled up for days at a time.
Oof. That's rough, dude.
Rough headaches, man.
Yeah. Well, Mrs. Martin Muse sent a 99-cent super sticker. It's a rose, and I'm giving that rose to you, my friend.
Aw.
Because you need it.
Yeah, this is...
Thanks, Teresa.
So this shows you exactly what Disney actually believes. Yeah. Their leadership does not believe in the woke agenda.
Yes,
they believe in making money. Mm-hmm. But every mistake they make, they've got this great built-in excuse now. Just like what the OneRing.net just did, saying that the structural foundation of the history of these stories is just an excuse for racism. And I'm like, you're setting us up so that the minute we don't like your show,
you can nail us.
You can nail us. That's the only thing they're doing.
Are you talking about the Sir Ian McKellen tweet?
I mean, that was nobody cared about that back in the day.
Did you hear about that culture in Makini?
Yeah,
I heard a little bit of that before the story started.
Storyman, bring that up. It was the OneRing.net put out a tweet pretty much saying that the casting of Ian McKellen was.
I think Gary was responded to that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, Gary did.
He did. Okay, so, well, I'm responding to it right now myself, and like they even watch me. But it's disgusting to think. I remember when those movies were coming out. And I'm talking, my friends, we were probably in our mid-20s at the time.
Uh-huh.
We were a bunch of idiots. And not one of us even cracked a joke about Ian McKellen being gay. Actually, it wasn't prominent that he even was gay.
Right. I didn't find out till after the Return of the King that he was gay. And I was just like, well, good for him. Yeah.
That was back. Look, Storyman, and you'll know this. You're up near my age too. Back then, the best thing an actor could do was stay out of the limelight, so you believed who they were when they were acting.
That's part of their problem, and they don't understand it. The more they get on these social media platforms and expose who they are, the mythology of the actor is dying, or it's already dead.
Right.
They used to be people we looked up to, just like politicians, just like leaders, just like
athletes.
But we can't anymore because they're stupid and we know it now. Not only that, they're disingenuous. Some of these people are just like you and me, grew up in the dirt, didn't have anything, and now that they have millions of dollars, are gonna trash the people that are exactly like they were before they came up.
Right. And don't forget this too, and I'm gonna go to you after this statement, Makini, because I know you have something to add to this. What bothers me too is these people, once they get rich and famous, they have a lot of yes people around them, and they start believing their own bullshit. A lot of these people are high school dropouts. A lot of these people aren't the most intelligent people in the world, but because their bubble is telling them they're amazing and they're number one and they're the greatest thing ever, and because I played the president on TV, they believe that they're smart enough to explain to me what constitutional, they try to tell me we live in a democracy. We don't. We live in a republic. A true democracy, it wouldn't work on a country this size. And they don't, but see, they don't understand shit like that. And it aggravates the crap out of me because they believe what they're fed. So look at one of the things we're going to talk about tonight, Anthony Fauci and the emails that came out about him. Anthony Fauci discredited the president at the time when all that president said was, yes, they're saying it came from, these animals, but it could also have come from here, which I believe. Discredited him. And now we're finding out that the whole time he also believed it, but because he was giving him a little extra money and because he got a thank you in April for not, squashing the story, what's going to happen about that? It's all what the media and the government want to let us know. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. Back to Disney. But like you were saying, these people are idiots and they believe their own story. I don't know. What do you think, Makini? And then to you, Jack.
So, I wanted to address what Storyman said earlier, and is that the thing is that, and I said this before on a previous stream, that with Disney, it's every time they try to virtue signal, and especially publicly, like on Twitter, they always put their foot in their mouth. They always keep putting their own foot right in their mouth.
Absolutely.
Every time they virtue signal. And to go on what you were saying, Scott.
Yeah.
The
dick.
We didn't see. That was one of the most amazing things I've noticed in 2019, and not just in 2020, but go further back from like 2019, 2018. It was a rising tide that we started noticing more and more and more of celebrities, of who these celebrities truly are, and they are horrible people.
Yeah,
we've seen that before. We've seen that it wasn't just the TDS that was going on for the past 4 years. It kept rising and rising, and it hit a boiling point last year during the whole lockdown because we really saw everyone's true colors were revealed
Right.
last year. And
Right.
that was because of the lockdown restrictions.
Yep. Go
So
ahead.
Here's what's happening, and I just released a video on this. I've been thinking about this the whole time. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to destroy mythology. Mythology is a story that expresses things beyond the story. That's the definition of mythology. All right. It doesn't mean it's a lie. When people say it's a myth, that is not what the word myth means. Myth means that it is a story that teaches us things beyond the story. That's the academic definition. What they're doing is they're destroying our modern mythology that teaches us in order to be a hero, you have to self-sacrifice.
Right.
You have to go through pain. You have to be hurt. You have to do things and work and struggle to get to be that. They're destroying that basic human understanding. The reason these mythologies are what they are is because those basic human understandings we all agree with. We all, no matter what your society, no matter what your government, no matter where you grew up, if you're a fan of Star Wars, it has universal truths for everybody. And what they're doing is that there are certain people out there, I don't know who they are, I can't say specific names, because there's a lot of just stupid, greedy, freaking people involved that don't know what they're doing. But there are specific people that want to change our basic human understandings of one another and break them.
Right.
And that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Well,
and
go ahead, Culture.
Right. No, you're 100% right, Storyman, and we've been talking about this for a long time. It's the same thing we talked about a lot of other stuff that's uncomfortably true. And the thing is, now a lot of people are waking up to those truths, right? Especially here in the United States and around the world, courtesy of over 3,300 emails that were released because of Freedom of Information Act request that is available to any and everyone to look at right now. Yep. So, all of this, all of the way that it was handled, the way that it was orchestrated by the media, by certain political persons, things like that. Sorry, I have to be careful.
Yes.
No, absolutely.
They wanted to arrive at this place where they could destroy the last country that will 100% defend freedom.
Right.
Because right now, freedom's being sacrificed in so many countries around the world that we're trying to model themselves after the United States. And you have countries, Asian countries, in support of the United States, and we're rooting for not the guy who they got placed in office. Right. So we're in some very dark times. It's going to take a lot of exposure going forward, pointing the finger at the people who are accountable and responsible for where we're at now. And that includes major corporations. It's over 300 now. I keep counting new Fortune 500 companies that have a slate of board of directors that are affiliated with the WEF. And the you cannot even begin to imagine how they don't care about profit. In fact,
unbelievable, man.
Terry Smith.
Marketing? No. Say that quick statement, and then we'll go back to culture.
It's okay. So I'm gonna try to make this quick. So growing up, it was always that belief that when somebody does it out of greed, when corporations do it out of greed, you can tell the quality of a product when they're just doing it for money. But we're caught to the point where the big corporations, the big companies, they don't care so much about money as much as just virtue signaling, because they think that virtue signaling is going to lead to the money.
Right.
And it makes me, and I hate saying this, it makes me miss back when companies just did it just because
they were greedy.
They were greedy, and it just resulted in just a bad product.
But that's the significant part of what they're doing. We've got a few people in the top that are making these decisions and using the power of their money and the greed of the people beneath them to manipulate everything that's going on.
Right. Right.
So do I think Kathleen Kennedy is one of those, or do I think she's the stupid greedy one? I think she's the stupid greedy one.
Yeah.
I think it's people above her, people who are giving her, if you do this, this, and this, we'll make your career better. If you do this, this, and this. I mean, maybe it's Steven Spielberg. I mean, he's got ties to all these people. Who knows?
Right.
I mean, but the solution, and that's what we need to talk about the most, is the solution to all this is creating our own stuff.
Yes.
And when we do, to keep it ours. Do
Yes.
not sell out to these big corporations. I know they're going to, I've been
It's
offered
the money again. It's the money again, right?
They will offer you money. They'll give you thousands of dollars for your novel, and then they'll change every aspect of it, and that's in the contract because you took their money.
Lightbringer.
So-
and say what you and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this.
Oh, hold on,
You know,
real quick.
there's
The Guinea Pig Collective is here.
Hey, Tom.
What is
going
up,
on? What's
Tommy?
going
Hey, Tommy.
on, y'all?
We're up your alley, my friend. All right, go ahead, Makani.
And say what you will about this, but the thing is, we say a lot about normies, this and that. What normies want is they want to be entertained, but
Right.
I also believe that normies will flock to a good product.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
of course.
Something that is legitimately of quality.
But
They don't-
Another
I
one of
don't
those
think-
universal truths.
Like
Yes.
I don't think before you get to Scott, I don't think every single normie out there is that gullible.
I disagree.
They pick-
I don't
Okay,
disagree
so-
with that. I don't disagree
Okay.
with that. What I disagree with is in today's day and age,
Right.
normies aren't like they used to be. It used to be you saw a great trailer, you didn't know much about the IP, but because the trailer got you, you said, screw it, let's go see this movie on Friday night because we could afford to take the kids. Or
Exactly.
I could afford to take a girl out on a date. Nowadays, people are not that they're still normies, but they're more into, again, social media. The message, if the message is saying you're a progressive young man and woman, if you go see this and not this, they follow that trend right now because they believe they're supposed to be progressive.
and we're seeing more and more people
Waking up.
but people falling for people defending companies.
Right.
And I'm like, you are being sold on a falsehood.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
this whole
You know what,
identity
Marketing?
politics, sold
You are
message
wrong.
is sold on a falsehood.
Yeah, the
You-
guinea pig.
You're wrong, Makani.
And most people are gullible. Most people are gullible. I agree with that. It's on profit.
Oh,
No,
man.
you know what I really think, and I actually got into this discussion with Wes Moody the other day. I really do believe. Tell him, Cringer.
Cringer!
We
Cringer.
believe that people only go to see these franchises because of the name brand. That is
Right.
the only reason that they show up.
Yep.
Well,
Mhm.
also, Tommy, look at what Zero Rewind says here. People worship these companies now, and that's
Yes.
what it is. And if you don't follow what their social norms tell you to do, they will destroy your company. And if you're
Yep.
not one of these mega corporations, it's almost like if you do you bend the knee and live to fight another day. Like I pray John Cena just did because I'm disgusted in what he did, or do you fight back? And most likely in today's age, you could lose everything, like a Gina Carano, who
Well,
I
you know
respect more
what,
than
Scott?
most. Yeah,
I mean, that's the problem when you talk about the normies that actually, this is who they tried to target for some reason, because
Yep.
the normies, we've gotten to discussion numerous times. The normies are not the ones that are going to be going out there purchasing all the merchandise. They're not going to be buying the toys,
Yep.
the bed sheets, the lunch boxes, whatever it is that
Right.
is associated, whatever franchise that they're trying to push.
Yep.
The normies are not the ones that are going to be filling the coffers for all these different franchises.
Yep.
Yet they keep pushing the product for them, and they pretty much exile all the people that were the fans and the ones that were going to that they were going to make a profit off of.
Yep.
And they're the ones that have always stood true to all these franchises.
Culture.
And they just keep doing
But
it.
But you're right, Tommy. But they've turned off the normies too because they're waking up to it. The stories aren't good. They're not being they're not being entertained. They've rejected the premise of Cruella from the very beginning, and no matter how much sugarcoating they try to put on it, it's underperformed by 40% compared to Mulan on the scam called Premier Access on Disney Plus, and it is not even earned a third of the money of A Quiet Place 2 in the box office. And so I mean, you can spin all the agenda baloney sausage, try to make the villain the good guy, which is essentially what they're doing in our government right now. They're trying to make the villain the good guy, and it's not working. Anyway, I got to slide out. I had a lot of fun being here. So yeah, but you guys are not wrong.
Are you pre-lubed to slide out there, Culture?
I am, absolutely.
Awesome.
And if you and no matter how much you spin it, Cruella and Joker are two different.
Machini, take a breath. Take a breath real quick. Culture has to leave.
I do have to go. So everybody have a great day. I really appreciated it. Scott, you guys are
I love you, man.
Keep it up, man. Love you all. See you.
Love you too.
Much love, Culture.
We got 28 people watching right now. Please hit that like button, guys. Share it out. Share the stream because they really are not helping us. I know we say that and people are like, okay, yeah, they're not. No, they really don't help people that aren't. YouTube and other platforms right now are helping NBC, ABC, CNN, the large corporations, and the little guy is getting crushed. So please, guys, like, share, retweet, do all that good stuff. Machini, what were you going to say, sir?
No, that was just no matter how much the media and people try to spin it.
Yeah.
Cruella and Joker are two different films.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Don't even try comparing them.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Here's the biggest thing with something with Cruella and all these other products that Disney are trying to reboot into live action films. People did not like these things because they were live action films or the hope that they were going to see them as live action films.
Right.
They liked them because they were animated features. That is what drew people to them to begin with. And somewhere along the line, Disney and their ever so ridiculous need to just try to like rehash the same shit over and over again because they have no ideas, because it's the unimagination squad that's running the show over there. They just want to sit there and try to take these cartoons that people loved for what they were,
right,
an animated movie, and they want to turn them into something live action.
Profit.
They're going to cash in on it.
Yeah. Jack, what were you going to say?
So I have a little story about a normie. My mother is a normie. She loves science fiction. She loves fantasy. She loves dark stuff. I grew up on Doctor Who because of her. I grew up on Dark Shadows because of her.
Oh, wow. Great.
Right? So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The original Dark Shadows.
Oh, definitely.
shit.
That was.
I went over there Sunday for my birthday. I turned 47. And I asked her, I said, hey, did you see Linda Carter's little thing at the end of Wonder Woman 84? And she goes, I didn't watch Wonder Woman 84. I'm like, what?
Wow.
That was your favorite TV show when I was growing up. What? She goes, no, I don't like what they're doing.
Wow. That's a normie.
Yep.
How old, if you don't mind me asking?
She just turned, actually, she will turn 60. Let's see. She will turn 67 on the 8th.
Okay. So this is not like, this is a true normie of today's age.
Oh, yeah. She watches all kinds of stuff. I'm like, Mom, this is horrible. Why are you watching Ghostbusters?
2016.
Yeah. Why are you watching this? Oh, it's funny. She's just a normie.
Right.
Right. She doesn't.
Entertain me.
Yeah.
Entertain me.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the biggest difference with a lot of normies too. Also, is like they just don't see the messaging that's in there because they're not tuned into it like a lot of us are. We see it on a daily basis, whether it's Twitter, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's with YouTube running the fucking ridiculous shit that they're running, but we see it all the time. Or most of these people, they're living almost, I want to say almost like they're living in a bubble, and they don't see this kind of shit.
Right.
Yeah,
So when you get that their little subtle messaging in these movies and these shows, it just goes right over their head.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to make any personal dig at my own folks. It's just, but they do personify that kind of normies where, they listen to CNN, MS, mainstream media, they turn on Rachel Maddow every night and such like that.
Yep.
They
My
always listen
parents
to-
did too.
Yep.
I went over there one night and they're watching this. They're listening to Dr. Fauci. They're like shaking in their boots. I'm like, here's the real stuff.
Right.
Go talk to your doctor. Go talk to your doctor. You know, my parents just got their first shot. But my mom and dad both, they're like, we're going to wait and see how this goes for a while. And then we're going to get it. You know, they're starting to wake up. And I think a lot of people in America are, especially with this. I mean, people are pulling Fauci's book off the shelf before it's even been really released because of all this shit that's come out.
Yeah,
and I think I'm surprised that they actually let that information out. I mean, they've blocked Freedom of Information Act requests before.
This early on, you know, maybe in like 10 years, I would have saw it. I was shocked they did
somebody
too.
off.
He pissed somebody off.
Somebody,
a holdover maybe from the last administration. But
maybe.
What bothers me too is that we were screaming this. People, I got deleted from TikTok because I talked about this exact thing with Fauci, about what Fauci said about that lab. And what kills me is I got kicked off because I was misinformation. People lost their channels because misinformation. People lost their Facebook profiles because of misinformation. Twitter banned people because of misinformation. And what we're finding out is from the very beginning, this question was allowed. When you suppress questions like this, which is to me, hey, I know you're saying it's coming from this market, but couldn't it maybe have come from the lab that's like a couple blocks away that actually deals with these viruses? Because it doesn't. Logic, right?
Just logic.
What they're doing also is they're suppressing the idea of like investigative journalism. They're calling it fake news. So now you can no longer investigate and like learn things as you're investigating.
Because they stopped.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just,
or they never even began. They never
CNN
began.
used to do investigative journalism.
NBC
used to do investigative. I mean, John Stossel. I mean, you know, Geraldo Rivera.
Oh my God!
These people did investigative journalism, and now those investigative journalists, John Stossel has to do his stuff on YouTube,
which is sad.
I think it is. It's actually a suppression of thought, really, when you think about it.
Absolutely.
It goes right back. It goes
next
right
to you
back
after this, Makani. Go ahead.
It goes
Jack.
right back. They want to destroy universal truths. Hot is cold. Chaos is order.
Yep.
Emotion is better than logic.
Yep.
That's what they want to do. They want to break it, and it's in every aspect of what we're going through. Honestly, I think it is fifth generation warfare. I do think that it is an attack on our society.
I'm with you. And that's my personal thought. And the sad thing is you can no longer on some of these platforms have personal thoughts. Right. You know, when it comes to the shot, I would never tell someone not to get it. But for me, I'm scared to see the ramifications of what this shot does a year from now, 2 years from now. There has not been enough. I almost feel like we're the guinea pigs. This is what I feel.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry for your family.
Hey, that was pretty bad there. That was a slip up.
Justin, you want to come on, man? You're more than welcome. Yeah, dude. Go ahead, Makani. What were you gonna say?
I guess my thing has always been like, okay, here's the information.
Yep.
You know, present it as objectively as you can, and just let the viewers decide.
Right.
Figure it out for themselves.
Right.
Let the viewers, and I do think that's what should be going on.
Yeah.
You know, more often, but that's the thing is that's the problem is that, you know, why we're seeing a lot of this suppression, and I'm going into that. I'm sorry, I don't, but I have to say it here is they are afraid of people having independent thought, of people looking it up, thinking for themselves, looking it up and looking up the information and trying to come up with their own, you know, their own opinion on stuff, or how they see it.
Right. Real quick,
and
Nick,
they want everybody to think the same way.
I'm with you on that. They're afraid of thought. Nick McCabe, Australian $5 super sticker saying, hiya. Nick, you're always welcome to come on. please
Justin.
just let me know. Justin
Justin.
Proper
What's
in
up,
the house,
Justin?
everybody. How are you, buddy?
Hi, I'm doing well. Carry on. You got super chat money. Don't. I can wait a second.
Yeah. No. Thank you very much. That's the only one I saw. Did I miss any? No.
No.
You are the best, Nick. Nick is great, guys. Please check out Nick's
What's
channel.
up, Nick?
He's a
Yeah,
really
Yeah,
good dude.
I
You know-
showed my mom that little scene at the end of Wonder Woman 84 so she could see Linda Carter,
Yeah,
and she's like,
cash grab.
please tell me that's not the best part of the movie. And I said, it is. She goes, well, I'm not going to watch it.
What did you just?
Machini,
Okay, go ahead.
I want to
Yes.
continue what Machini was saying. You know, when you were talking about that suppression, and when we were talking about suppression of thought and how they, want people to actually think the way they're thinking, that has actually started. It started probably in the early '80s when they were going into schools and everything, and they were changing the history books around.
So
Because they wanted to push a certain narrative, and they wanted everybody to think that way. Now I remember when I was probably in 6th grade.
Yeah.
The teacher did a test, and on it, this is when they were pushing Darwin's theory really hardcore. And she said, "Do you believe that you came from an ape, or do you believe you came from?" It wasn't worded God, but it was supposed to be, a higher power.
creationist.
So so
my teacher said dirt.
because really in all aspects of it, there is no really right or wrong answer there.
Nope.
One is a theory, the other one is not proven either. So technically, both are technically theories if you want to look at it
It's the
in a scientific light.
it's the basic misunderstanding of faith.
Right.
Yes.
So I got marked as wrong, and she said she was going to fail me on the test because I didn't put that I came from an ape, and I refused to accept it.
No,
That's
I refuse
And
to accept that either.
that kind of shit was going on back then, and that was
Oh, yeah.
the early. No, that
Well,
was,
you know,
very
That was,
early
that was
80s.
something my dad warned me when I was little about that.
You know
not
what?
to trust that whole belief.
I turned it around when I was in college. When I'm doing I'm in a literature class, and they want us to write a paper on this stuff, and about Darwinism and stuff. And I'm like, if you think I came from an ape, I think that's racist.
Right? You
you
can.
go.
And they just shut up. They just shut up. They didn't say a word after that to me. They just looked at me like, oh my God, I never thought of that. I'm like, you can't just force people to believe what you're telling them. Now, unfortunately, our society, because this has been going on for a long time, what we're seeing now is it starting to get to the point where it's going to all implode.
Well,
They've been
it's-
pushing this woke stuff since the 60s. And now the hippies are in charge, and it's coming to a head.
And the thing is that in the past couple of years, we're seeing it being forced through a shield, through a Trojan horse.
Oh yeah.
It's all been through a Trojan horse thing,
Well,
and it's all been to kind of play on emotions, play on this and that, using race, gender, sex as a shield to deflect from criticism.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I could say is this: I don't agree with your views on where we come from, but that's fine. I respect your view because I understand it. My view is completely different because I do believe we came from a common ancestor, like Zero Rewind saying here of apes. But I also believe, and I truly believe this, that something or someone modified the DNA for us to become what we are now, for the simple fact that that could be a god or lowercase g gods, because we took leaps and bounds when we shouldn't have. And some people believe it's from us taking hallucinogenic mushrooms, causing our brains to start looking up instead of looking down. There's so many different aspects that it could be. So I'm open to whatever it is. But to tell a child he's wrong because his faith tells him he's from something, that to me is un-American and disgusting. Just like this Dalton parents enraged over a masturbation video for first graders without their knowledge. Their knowledge.
Now I want to preface this.
Yep.
Because we talked about this yesterday, and Mads and Mads did say, Moderator said, it was very unsettling to watch, but what she was saying was that they were trying to prevent they were trying to tell kids not to do that.
Okay, but here's the
That's fair.
problem.
And that's
What?
hang on,
Here's
hang on,
the
hold on a
problem.
second, Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Okay.
That's fine, and I completely understand. I get that. And thank you for clearing that up, Matt. But you're trying.
I don't
to tell
agree with that.
You're trying to tell 6-year-olds this.
Yeah, I don't
Wait,
agree
wait,
with what Mads
that's
is
the
saying
point.
either.
I didn't know what
It is
masturbation was at 6 years old.
It is not the responsibility of anybody but a parent
Thank you.
to teach that.
Thank you.
I'm so confused
Yeah, go ahead,
right
Justin.
now.
Well, you want me to read a little and then we'll discuss?
yes, you just
Okay.
gave me a hilarious article. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, you're
Yeah.
welcome, dude.
Tomorrow.
You're gonna,
There's
you're
no
gonna be able to
fucking
make
way
a
I'm
good
not
video.
using this.
Oh
Yes,
God, yeah.
absolutely.
And there's probably better articles out there now. This is just the first one I grabbed. But last fall, parents at the posh $55,000 per year Dalton school got wind of their first graders being taught sex education lessons that included masturbation. They complained to the school administrator, but were told they had simply misinterpreted what Dalton's now notorious health and wellness educator Justin Ang Font, who last month led a controversial and explicit porn literacy workshop at another elite prep school, was teaching. But after the
Wait.
Yes,
How are we misunderstanding
Thank
porn
you.
literacy?
Yep. Absolutely. This might be different from what Mads is talking about. If you look at my thumbnail, there's like a national sex education from K to 12th grade that they want to start pushing on children, which will talk about different sexualities and
Did you
genders
guys
and
watch
this
it?
and that. This is different.
Did you guys watch it? Did you
No,
watch it?
I didn't.
did.
I
Yeah, how
did.
was it?
I did.
Yeah, it
and
was cringy and gross. And why the hell do they have these cartoon characters
And
telling 6-year-olds who do not even understand what they're talking about this?
And the thing is, and we were bringing this up on yesterday's stream, and I told Steven, after what I saw, I can't show it.
Well,
I can't
no.
show this.
God,
we
no.
can't show this on.
Go
God,
to
no.
Michael Knowles' channel. He shows.
Yeah, Michael
parts of
Knowles
it.
was
Yeah.
talking-
Well,
Yeah.
I think the video's here too. But after the post exposed last week on the porn class, Dalton parents bombarded the school with more complaints about Fontaine's curriculum, sources told the Post. The Post viewed video of a cartoon Fontaine, so it's him. That's what's sick too. Used in one of cartoon Fontaine used. I apologize. I thought it was him in the cartoon. That's what someone told me. Used in one of her sex ed classes for 6-year-olds, showing little kids talking about touching themselves for pleasure. Hey, this is from the video. Hey, how come sometimes my penis gets big sometimes and points in the air? Asks a little boy in the cartoon, leading to an explanation of what an erection is. The boy nods and says, sometimes I touch my penis because it feels good. Then the little girl character chimes in, sometimes when I'm in the bath or when my mom puts me to bed, I like to touch my too. Font has reassured parents that she does not use the word masturbation in class. Oh, thanks God. And that her lessons teach kids not to touch themselves in public. That's a parent's job.
You know how you teach a kid not to touch themselves in public? You slap their hand.
Yeah, well, look.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
I'm a
but
parent.
this is done in public.
stupid.
You're trying to tell people in public. Like,
Listen,
why would kids do that in public in the first?
Oh
I
no,
don't understand. What?
kids will touch
Kids will
themselves.
touch themselves. Yeah.
What I'm
They
saying,
don't know
though,
any
is-
better yet.
I got a story. My son, we went to watch Ella Enchanted. He was about 3 or 4 years old at the time.
God.
And we're sitting in there, and it's right before the movie starts. And his mother, I hear her go, getting after him. And I'm like, I look over and she goes, stop touching yourself. And he goes, but mommy, my penny big. And it was right when the lights went down and it was really quiet. And the whole place started laughing. And I just blew it off. And I said, he just takes after me. So, but that's how you handle that. Kids are going to do stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
You, you don't have to make a big production.
Here's
Right,
part of their
and
problem.
Jack-
A lot of
go ahead.
parents kind of gave up the ability and or the right to actually say that we have the right to take our kids and scold them on this or to teach them on that. But the minute that it started sex education in schools,
Yeah.
the parents were the ones that wanted teachers to start teaching this shit in school.
My
and they
parents did.
opened Pandora's box by doing that.
Well, now we
Because
got there's another.
How do you know what I mean? How do you
Well,
actually monitor what they're doing?
There are layers.
Not in a school, if you're
Well,
a parent.
Yeah.
I got something to add.
Yeah,
to
go,
that
Justin.
first. Before my generation, at least sex education was sex education, as far as I'm concerned. But by the time they got to my generation, it was pretty much abstinence only. I'm like, what the fuck is the point of this? You can't just no, you just don't say like, oh no, don't do it. Like, come on, actually teach us. I even said in the class, like, you're not teaching us anything. What is the point of this? Like, why?
There's a difference though. So there are many different perspectives on this because everything is layered. So for example, when I was growing up, my parents had the option, because my hometown did not have a high school, to send me to the big, 1,500 graduating class school, or to the rural little 35 graduating school, right? I went to the small school. I didn't experience any of this, none of this, right? But people that went to that big city school, they got all this.
Yep.
So there's a learning curve for people like me who are still kind of like in that. I'm a Gen Xer, but I'm almost in that boomer generation because I was taught the way they were. And I've got a lot of friends and people of the similar age that grew up in big cities that have totally different and a more emotional perspective than I do, because that's where it came first, was the big cities.
Right. I got to read this because I love Tina. Tina put something very important. That's why I think yes, Tommy, you're right. It opened a Pandora's box, but when it first came out, health and family life programs and sex education, things like that, some of the aspects were just talking about different family structures, how to understand and own your own body, things of that nature, which I agree with. What I don't agree with is Mad Mardigan's ever getting on my channel again. Culture doesn't have that power, buddy. Okay? Okay?
Denied.
Dude,
But
I love Mad.
Also, you have to remember, back when sex education really took off, it was done to prevent AIDS.
Yes,
HIV,
I grew up during that age.
Yes, it was.
HIV was a huge deal.
Yes,
they believed they had to do something.
Talk about
because
condoms,
this was going to
abstinence.
destroy our world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they know horny teenagers are going to be horny teenagers, and they say like, "Oh, use a condom, take the pill, stuff like that." And
but it started in 7th grade for me. What about you guys? It started in 7th. I didn't even know they did it in kindergarten and 1st grade. I got to find out.
No,
I recall it around 8th.
Okay.
If I'm correct, it was probably freshman, sophomore, my time. And to kind of add on to what Jack was saying is that it's true, is because it's like different experiences. Like for me, it's like I got exposed to porn and stuff like at an early age by accident.
Oh, well, that's...
we like Zero Rewind. We always do that.
Who says Soul Assassin put it perfectly. My generation, I learned from Skinamax and porn mags and stuff like that. That's how I learned.
So I have a really was it a happy accident, buddy?
You know what? It was during the age of the internet. And the thing is, I'm a millennial, so we grew up around the age of the internet was blowing up. So
when porn
exposure to all those
that
sites
wasn't the only thing that was blowing up.
So let's go back. I got a good story about this. In the early 80s.
Yeah.
In the early 80s, my mom and dad, going to a theater was a big deal when I was a kid.
Oh, hell yeah.
We did it maybe once a year if we were lucky. So Star Wars had come out, Empire Strikes Back had come out, and I begged, and Dad took us to see it. We only had one drive-in within 50 or 60 miles of where we lived. We went, it was sold out. There were no places. So as we were leaving, I'm like, I don't know, 6, 7 years old. My brother's a couple of years younger than me. We're just pissed, we're complaining. So Dad rolls back around and he goes, Flash Gordon's playing. Let's go watch that, right?
The hell yeah.
So he pulls around and he asks to get into the lot to go see that. And the lady looks at him like he's crazy. She looks back in the back seat where us kids are and then looks at him and goes, "Are you sure you want to see that?" He's like, "Yeah." So So we pull in and we start watching. It is not Flash Gordon. It is Flash Gordon.
Oh my
Flash
God!
Gordon. I knew you were going there.
So
You know what? Hey, Jack, I just want to rewind it just for a second there. When you said that you were kind of like there was no, about literacy and porn. How dare you make fun of those wonderful scripts? Matter of fact, Wes Moody just did an amazing review of a Star Trek porn parody the other night. And the dialogue in that thing was amazing. Better than anything Klutzman could ever do.
Mother said, all right, so here's how it
you
went.
got your buddy's work, right?
So here's how it went. We're sitting there, and Mom looks over at my dad and says,
I'm going to have to mute
"Do
myself
you
for a
think we
second,
should-
Tommy. That was great.
do you think we should leave?" And Dad looks over and goes, "We paid for this. We're going to sit here and watch it." Mom said it was the first movie we never had to go to the bathroom. We didn't want popcorn. We didn't want sodas. We did not want to leave the car. So apparently it was a very good movie.
Hey, do me a favor, Makini. Can you put Mad Mardigan's channel in the
Sure, I will.
chat? Guys, make sure you guys are subscribed to Mad Mardigan. The dude's a good dude, even though he tries to blow me up in front of people, even though the show did come on this like 2 Saturdays ago. So talk to me about that, Mad Mardigan. I like the strangeness one. I don't even think it's called strangeness, but I love that.
I think the
Go
ultimate
ahead, sorry.
goal is chaos. The ultimate goal of all this is chaos.
Yes, and this look, I bring it up all the time. There was the KGB agent that did. You can find his videos on YouTube talking about how can you bring down a free country like America from within. And you start with disinformation and going after the youth and the school systems. And this is, look, when you take God out of everything, okay, and I'm not I'm not a religious guy. I'm a spiritual guy. Don't get me wrong. But I'm thinking about going to church for the simple fact that where else will my kids learn, except for me, and don't get me wrong, we teach them morals, but where else will they learn the fear of, like the fear of God, the fear of doing the wrong thing is consequences in a way that I can't stress it. I learned a lot from going to church. I learned in helping other people. Don't judge other people from the way they look or how they act. It is not my job to judge people. Like I could believe, and I don't. Please, I want to make sure this is abundantly clear. I have nothing against anybody, but let's say I could believe purple people are against God's creation, but that doesn't mean I'm allowed to judge them during my lifetime. That God will judge purple people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like these God-fearing people that say, they believe that, but then they crucify, gays and transgenders are as bad as these progressives that are coming after us for being white males. I truly believe that.
Well, that's because of basic misunderstanding.
Yes.
You don't. All right. So you lead by example. You do the right thing.
Example.
Yes.
You do not castigate others for their sins.
Toss the stone, right?
You just live your life as best as you can and be kind. That's it. That's the only rule. When Jesus Christ came back and he gave us our only commandment in the second covenant is to be kind.
Right.
That's it.
That was it.
That's it. Be kind. Everything else flows from that. If you're kind, you're not stealing from people.
Yep.
If you're kind, you're not murdering people.
Yep.
If you're kind, you're not taking advantage of people. Just be kind.
Now, I don't mean to change the subject, but I want to get back to this because this is what bothers me. They're teaching kids about masturbation and things like that, but they're also teaching kids about consent. Now, consent is a big deal for me, but when consent comes to parents, literally parents are supposed to say to their child, "May I hug you?" I'm sorry, there are times when my daughter just needs a hug and doesn't know how to ask for one.
What do you mean?
Wait a
I'm
minute.
supposed to ask my kid if I can hug them?
Wait,
That's
is that
okay.
what kids need to do to each other now? They have to ask permission to hug? That's
Justin, you've heard of little boys and girls getting suspended from school because they forced a hug or a kiss, expelled.
That's
expelled.
That's bullshit. No way.
kindergartners. One got the.
No, seriously.
If I could
I'm
find
not
the
saying-
article,
Well,
someone
you know
find the
what?
article. The kid who got the police called on him, a
Scott.
kindergartner for kissing a
Scott,
girl.
I do recall that there
Really?
was another article that was very similar to that, but they were talking
yeah.
about actually a baby who in no way, shape,
Can't
or form
speak.
can ever speak or give any kind of consent, but they were giving somebody a hard time because a relative came up and hugged the baby and they didn't ask for consent.
Right.
It's the same thing that they did when they were talking about mothers breastfeeding, that they didn't ask that baby for consent
Oh
before
my
they went
God.
and breastfed them.
Are you?
All right, now
effing
wait a
kidding
minute.
me?
Wait a minute. Let's look at this.
Okay.
And really think about the contradiction that they're trying to spew here. All right.
It is contradiction.
Yes, it feels good to touch yourself. Yes, it feels good to do this. Yes, look at Cardi B. Look at this. Look at how sexual our sexual explosion is so great for America. But don't
Sexual
you dare do
explosion?
it. Don't you dare touch another person.
Hey,
Don't
hold on.
They're going to make people crazy.
Yep.
Jack, I got one better for you. Hang on. I'm gonna bring my camera up.
Okay.
I'm
Hold
gonna
on.
bring my camera up.
Hold on. Here
No,
you
we
go.
don't want to see
Because
that,
you're putting
Marky.
this-
Put
you're
that
putting
away.
this whole no,
Put that away.
because this is a freaking point.
If you show your penis, I'm gonna kill you
No, this is a
because it's probably bigger than mine. Go ahead.
this is a freaking point. And Jack, I think Jack brought this up that it's okay. Sexual illusion. It's empowering to see stuff like Cardi B, to see stuff like this, wiggling ass and stuff, this shit like that. But, however, it's fine when it's a real person do it. But if it's a 2D character, like what I'm doing here,
Yeah.
Big ass
the
thighs.
shit I do here, that's not okay.
Right. That's
Because we want to
inappropriate.
believe that fiction is reality.
That's inappropriate. Yep. And I could legit get striked for that, which is
People-
crazy.
People
Yeah,
get
what
I've seen,
is-
and I'm sorry, let me go on a tangent. People
No,
are
don't worry
getting
about
good people I've seen I saw there was news of an animator, a well-known animator for his, more spicy, racy stuff get demonetized. But you let shit like Cardi B, you let naked yoga, that shit is A-okay. That's perfectly fine. But when somebody does it in 2D form, someone does it, it's like a draw, or it's like animation, or it's like a video game mod or something like that, that's inappropriate. That's not appetizer friendly.
I'm sorry. I love my chat. Go on.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. They're making me laugh my
No,
ass off.
Go ahead. No, I just
I-
wanted to put that there. Go ahead.
Parrot Head, there's a priest and an altar boy joke in there somewhere. That is.
I need to find
What's up, Matt?
a poster of that freaking movie to put in my background.
Yep.
Flesh Gordon, just put
Flesh,
it back there.
you gotta have it now, dude.
Just got to do it. Just got
You
to
gotta, guys. Matt has a channel. Check him out, dude. He's a good dude. How you doing, my brother?
Great channel too.
Incredible.
Great
That's
channel.
an
Great channel.
incredible
Great
artist.
artist. Great artist.
But yeah,
Yeah,
you're
rock
right,
and roll
McKinney.
nation.
You're right. They're making people crazy. They're like, okay, so somebody needs to make this meme. A picture of Cardi B on the stage at the Grammys, dressed the way she was, next to a even an 80s rendering of a female X-Men, and say, how is this okay and this not?
Right. Like,
It's simple.
Did she ask me if I wanted to see her WAP? Like, did she ask consent from me?
Well, and
You know,
that's
like,
the thing, Scott.
it's
like,
being
okay,
thrown in my face.
I think burlesque dancers are more covered than she was.
Yep.
Okay, so and the thing is, Scott, you're right, and you got a point. You see, like, okay, with the whole teaching kids not to, do that, like
Yeah.
self pleasure. Okay, I can see. Where
It's
you're
not
coming from
easy
that.
either. Kids
It's
want to
not-
touch themselves all the
It's
time.
a hard, yeah. That's something where I
Yeah,
can understand the
Makini's
argument.
touching himself
I
right
can
now.
understand. Shut up, Tommy. I can understand the argument there, but when you get to consent, I'm sorry, there's no argument.
And not just that, they're showing this to 6-year-olds in kindergarten, right?
Mhm.
And in that it says, yes, I know it feels good. It does feel good.
Right.
But you're
Stop
telling people
it.
to consent, though.
Right.
Yeah, you're telling them not to do something that you're admitting to them
Is good.
is good.
Right. So, and I almost like the weird thing is I understand why they would do that because I hated Nancy Reagan telling me drugs are bad, but they never told me drugs felt good. You know what I mean? Like,
but there's a difference between that conversation with a 6-year-old and a 15-year-old.
And a teenager, right?
Yeah.
What bothers me is this. There are, and this article is a little different, this Dalton one, but there's another one where there's a federal sex education manual going around that some schools are in doing K through 12 and not informing the parents. That's what bothers me. I need to know what the hell my kids are being taught. Do you know in my daughter's school where there's a lot of people that are in the armed forces, kids are going, they don't say the freaking Pledge of Allegiance?
Mm-hmm.
Who is tackling something right now? What's going on?
The schools here,
I told you to put that thing away.
I do live in the greatest country in the world, the Republic of Texas. And we still say the Pledge of Allegiance to America. We still have a moment of silence or prayer in the morning in our schools, at least our elementary schools. High schools, it's people don't participate. High school kids have never done that kind of stuff. They don't care. But our younger generations, well, by definition, teenagers are assholes. I was.
Yeah. Who was
Yeah.
What's up, Matt? How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How you doing, friend?
Good. Welcome to the show, everybody. Matt.
But our issues are city versus rural. Right. I guarantee you, 90% of our issues are city versus rural.
Well, think about who is in the cities mostly, and it's these progressive people, and it doesn't matter their race, their gender, their sexuality. It's
a class issue.
It's a class.
I agree with you, Makini. It's more of a class. It has to do with money.
Is.
They've been disguising class issues with racism for years and years.
I mean, because how many times, I don't care if you live in a city or if you live in a rural area, you run into that rich snob, the one who fucking knows it all, the one that wants to give you a hard time over everything because they think that they're just so much better than you.
Right. Well, that's more common.
All these kids that are coming out of these universities and college, they're all coming from money, and they're the ones that are espousing this nonsense more than anybody else.
Yeah, all you rural poor people, you got to pay my college degree for me.
Yeah, there you go. Go.
You know, the crazy thing is that there's some rural people who have money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just because they're wearing a fucking busted up cowboy hat and
that's why they have money.
Exactly.
And they got it legitimately.
They probably have 100 acres worth of land that takes taxes every year. I mean, not everybody who live in the city is like eating possum. You know what I mean?
So my parents, who are rednecks, grew up. I mean, neither one of them graduated high school. They own a business that they have multi-million dollars go through every year, and they live out in the country. Dad's looking at buying 100 more acres,
boom,
and putting us all on it. But they earned it legitimately. Mm-hmm. The reason my dad has money is because he doesn't buy a new truck every year, because he does wear his clothes until they wear out, because he uses his tools until they break. He doesn't buy new stuff all the time. That's why he has money. Right. All these people that have the money that blow it like they do, they have money because they didn't earn it.
Absolutely.
It was given to them.
Most of them came from that throwaway culture.
Yeah, let's go back to that third generation. Generation.
Dad told me, he goes, don't buy a new iPhone. Just keep using yours until it completely dies.
Yeah.
Maybe by then they'll have another. They'll have something from America. Buy something until it dies. Don't throw it away.
My wife's father is one of the most frugal guys I've ever met. And he's going to retire this year and be well off, having a beautiful home on a lake down in a southern state he's moving to with his with my mother-in-law. And the thing is because he was frugal. The man didn't have to, but he sold, he would buy air conditioners in the winter and sell them in the summer on the hottest day. He would hustle. He would, he would never put the grinding all the time, Matt. He would put the heat at 55 and never change it, but he would cut his own wood and do his wood. He didn't have to do these things. He could afford not to, but that's why he's going to retire comfortably.
Yep.
People want things. The victimhood in this world has made people want things given to them. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. You have to work hard in America. And I just really want to say this quick. There is I don't know if you ever watched the Rubin Report, but the Rubin Report, Dave Rubin is a gay libertarian who got canceled by the left.
Well, he used to be a Democrat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They canceled him. Recently, he did 2 interviews, and I want you guys to check out these podcasts that he did on YouTube. One was with a guy named Glenn Lowry. He's a black teacher from, I want to say either Brown or Princeton. And the guy is just brilliant. Brilliant because
he's a economist.
Economist, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And he teaches at Brown.
And he's brilliant. And then he also has an interview where the full thing isn't out yet, but he has an interview with Kirk Cameron, who for the longest time I thought was a nutbag, and now I just realize he's a God-fearing man. And if I had the ability to...
He's a nutbag because the media said he was a nutbag.
And absolutely, Story Man. Is someone backing up their truck? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's outside voice, sorry.
Oh, don't worry, just mute for a little bit. Dave Rubin is... Cody says it. Yeah, Dave Rubin. He is... You know why Dave Rubin's awesome? He's like, there's certain people in the progressive group, and I'll just take the Fandom Menace.
The founder of Locals, by the way.
Oh, yeah, the founder of Locals. But I will take this. Like the Fandom Menace, when they come at us as racist and homophobic and this and that, they never point out, like, the Dark Council or the women in our group or the gay members or the transgender members.
They degrade and minimize them.
Exactly. Or just leave them out completely.
Or the fringe groups like the Tree Storian.
Well, the same can be said with...
okay, hi. I get it. I'm part of the alphabet community.
Oh, no.
Highlight it.
My thing got stuck.
Yeah, sure. It got
stuck. I'm sure that's something Justin's never heard before.
Well, Scott, the same.
I have one, and it's not fun.
You know what? Scott, someone said this to me.
Hold on, Mark. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mark.
Go ahead, Mark.
Well, the what you just said, the same exact thing can be said for a lot of groups, especially Comicsgate.
Oh yeah. Yep. Can I tell people that you're black? You're black. I don't know. I don't know if you know that, Makani, but you're black.
Well, it's just
he's just more of a caramel.
Sexy.
It's just
like a sweet mocha.
It's just like you've been targeted as we've been targeted.
That's what you are.
Well, I'm just saying but
he
it's
can't
just
help
like
himself. He
a
keeps
lot
talking.
of these fandoms have been a lot of the groups have been targeted as alt-right hate groups.
Right.
CG is no exception. It's been numerous attacks, but not a completely. It's not just they don't know; they ignore it. They ignore the fact that there is a diverse. We are very a lot of groups are very diverse. A lot of groups are very open to a lot of people here. It's just we don't deal with. This is our how we just follow that same.
And a lot of
we
it
follow that same philosophy, that idea.
Right.
Well, a lot of it is.
But we all think different. But everybody thinks differently. Everybody thinks for themselves.
Oh my God! Individuals. Go ahead, Story Man.
Well, sometimes.
Sometimes.
We can't forget that there's a lot of people like a lot of us have similar channels. We'll be saying the same damn thing on every other channel.
Absolutely.
And it seems like my record is skipping or something. That's for the older folks in the crowd.
Yeah. My 45. Yeah. Well, wait a minute. Before we move on, Justin, that's a valid point, man. And that's why I started doing different stuff, and I tried to do this free form and maybe throw more politics and pop culture in because we are all talking about the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I that's why I switched to just doing my stories mostly. Mm-hmm. I figure if I want to say something political, like I wrote that story about the guy who went to Disney World and it wasn't what he expected.
Yes.
I'm going to do my commentary that way because I feel like I was saying the same thing everybody else was saying and there wasn't a point to it. So I'm doing my own thing. I'm doing what I think is a solution to our entertainment problem, and I'm trying to by example, encourage others to create.
I'm raising my hand right now.
Yeah, can I just jump in real quick? The Time Prophet. We almost finished the Second World War before America joined us. Yeah, by losing. Sorry.
What do you mean? We didn't lose World.
No. He's from over in like Scotland. He's a Scot.
Well,
yes, you guys held on like a mofo. Don't get me wrong. You weren't like, no offense to my French friends, kind of rolled over.
No offense to my friends.
This is where I become one of those arrogant prick Americans.
You know, if you look at the history, bro.
Right, exactly.
What do you mean become? What do you mean become?
I love dogs.
You were already there, buddy. You were already there.
We probably offended.
Short.
Well, I'm just saying.
There's probably some
oh
French,
my god, kiss that dog for me
French
too.
viewers of ours we've just offended by.
Yeah.
You know what? The heck with them. They're French.
I will feed that dog hamburger right from my mouth. I will feed him. I'll feed that dog bacon.
Well, also, it's so easy for us Americans to ignore shit that's across the ocean. We're in our own little bubble. We don't need to think.
Sorry,
about
Time
that.
Prophet.
We have our own problems.
Bubble.
We don't need royalty. We don't need royalty like princes and princesses interfering in our own American politics. Okay, wink.
Yeah,
wink.
we don't. Do you think we give a fuck about Prince, the redhead dude, and his
Prince Ali, fabulous he, Ali
Oh no, we give a shit about that. That's fun. And
you're talking about
Harry is illegitimate. He's not even a fucking. He was like a bastard child.
Well, a lot of people believe that. A lot of people believe he is not the child of Diana and Prince Charles.
Just
if you
look at the polo player.
You're right. He looks just like that polar player. But can someone tell me what the fuck is going on with those two? Why is there such a big deal? I don't even know what.
I don't know.
I'll be right back.
All right, buddy.
That Oprah interview really just.
Well, the whole thing, she's like, there was racism.
Yeah. Right.
And
cool.
You got nothing else.
I don't know. I don't know how British people think.
You know what? We're looking it up. Screw this. We're looking this up.
Yeah, look it up. What do British people think?
Yeah, what do British people think? I'll ask the Time Prophet.
I want to know why. I already know what some of them think. I want to know why.
After watching The Crown and becoming an expert on this, it's obvious that they just fucking hate everybody. Like it seems like they don't give a fuck what color you are. If you're not the queen, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah,
they'll fucking handle you accordingly. You're a piece of fucking shit.
It's the teeth. It's the teeth. That's why they're so angry.
There we go. Why Meghan?
She has some teeth.
She has, for sure. Dude. She is hot. Why Meghan Markle and Prince Harry left the royal family? This is by Your Tango.
Because they're not really royals.
Yeah,
I had heard, and this is just from my friend who's huge with the British family. He may as well be British. He wants to be, but. It was probably because something along the lines of Meghan Markle not embracing the traditions of, what you have to act, how you are as a royal. That's as far as I know. Like any American, just like, why do we have to do all these stupid things? Like, let's just be a couple, and they were not happy about that. But hey, let's see what they say.
We're gonna see what they say.
You gotta think. You gotta remember, the royals were the first elitists.
Oh yeah. And first
are they the first?
Definitely.
First elitists.
Not royalty.
Royalty, as in royalty, not just this royal family. Royals were the first elitist. Yes, I agree with you on that.
Okay.
What were you going to say, Matt? Matt, jump in. What were you going to say?
I don't know. I was just going to call somebody a ginger bastard. I don't know. That's about it.
See, I can't go against his gingerness because I'm defending gingers now because Hollywood always makes them black.
That is a pretty shallow, low-hanging fruit. I'll take that back.
If I had
That's
to
not his
pick,
fault.
if I could pick from a lineup, my next wife, she would be a ginger.
Oh, kissed by fire. On Wednesday, go ahead.
No, when you're done, I want to share something I need to share. So,
on Wednesday,
I
January
should say my
8th,
next ex-wife.
future ex-wife. On Wednesday, January 8th, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry shook the world by announcing that they are stepping back from the royal blah, blah, blah. Although it's been pretty clear for a while that Harry and Markle have been struggling with their their roles. The news came surprising to fans, but why? Okay, let's see. Number one, Markle and Harry shared their announcement on Instagram.
The cottage, you get fucking protection. You get I mean, she didn't realize this or think about this beforehand.
We tend to step back as senior
family's
members.
insane.
Okay, so we depend they're going to step back as senior ones. It is with your encouragement, particularly over the last few years, that we feel prepared to make this adjustment. Blah blah blah. The palace seemed like they were taken back by it. Why did Meghan Markle and Prince Harry leave the royal family? Tensions were reportedly at an all-time high. There have been rumors about feuding in the family, and it all seems to have come to a peak since Harry and Markle tied the knot in 2018. Not only have there been reports that Markle and Kate Middleton don't get along because of different ways they view their royal responsibility. I could get this. Kate Middleton grew up always wanting to be a princess. Markle was an actress that was like, oh, this will be cool. But there have been plenty of rumors that Harry is feuding with his brother Prince William as well. Apparently it doesn't sit well with William that Harry and Meghan have been so candid with the press. Markle voiced her discontent in her African tour documentary. Oh, wow. Look at any woman, especially when they're pregnant. You're really vulnerable, and so that's what made very challenging. And then when you have a newborn, and especially as a woman, I keep saying woman, it's a lot. So you add this on top of just trying to be a new mom and trying to be a newlywed. So she just couldn't handle it. Prince William reportedly cheated on Kate Middleton by having had something to do with it.
Who the hell's Kate Middleton?
That's wife.
That's William's wife.
Yeah, Princess Kate or something.
Oh, I don't care.
I mean, that's a shame because they seem to be in love. They seem to really go through the little steps of
So how is this any different than any other in-law dynamic?
Wait a minute, racism. That's all you have to throw in
there. My mother and father and their in-laws didn't get along all the time either, and there were infighting, and brothers didn't get along with sister-in-laws, and it's like that in every family.
Yeah, but I agree with you, but I think with this family, it's like all the purse strings are connected to one chick, the queen. It's like everybody is forced to deal with her and kind of toe the line. So
when is that any different than it's ever been?
Well, I mean, most people could be like, I could go start my own shit and leave. You don't have to be a part of your family if you don't want to. I mean, they could leave, but I hear what you're saying. In-laws not getting along, but these people seem like they have to get along if they want to keep their lifestyle.
Yeah, well, and that's the deal she made, right?
Yeah,
she knew what
absolutely.
She was getting into, and she was told what she was getting into.
That's the problem. That's the problem. She's acting like it's all of a sudden, and I'm sorry, dude. Maybe there was racism, but a lot of people that and I think,
or maybe they just didn't like her.
That's what I was about to get to. That's what I was about to get to.
Yeah, and you have to go cry to Oprah. Yeah, that's gonna gain you points.
Right, and let's also think about this. The royal family is a very private, family, and she goes on Oprah and tells them this. That is redunculous, dude. Oh, I didn't realize you guys weren't looking at the article I was looking at.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Show what you got to show.
Okay, so
hey, Kaylee.
So we were talking earlier about the whole Lord of the Rings OneRing.net, right? And what Nerd Rock. I found this.
Please show me.
This just happened. And this just happened earlier. Okay, so
do you remember the excitement about finding out that they were making a Lord of the Rings movie?
Oh my god, dude! I was so stoked.
What? They're making a.
Go ahead, Maki. Yeah, I was stoked, dude.
Okay, please. So Nerdrotic caught. So Gary caught this, and this is a conversation with Just Some Guy. By the way, follow Just Some, subscribe to Just Some Guy.
Very smart guy.
Yes, he is.
Incredible talent.
Yes,
I've been following him for years. But he responded to this. The One Ring.
Can you read it?
Yeah, he said, Just Some Guy, and there was this is a thread. He said, "Are you talking about this? Some chat rooms 20 years ago? Come on. No one thinks Amazon's show will suck because the actors might be gay. People think it will suck because Amazon isn't going to respect the lore." And this is what they said.
Yep.
Respect the lore is becoming a coded language for racist perspectives on a text that never describes color.
What?
Which is completely untrue.
It is
Because
Isn't he a
described-
Okay, one at a time.
This is the reply,
Makini,
and it's getting ratio.
and then Jack, and then Matt. Okay, go Makini.
So this is the reply. These are the responses. So it is getting quote tweeted. It is getting ratioed.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
Jack, go ahead.
I'm just so all they're doing is setting it up, and Tolkien described his characters.
Okay.
He literally described
Yeah.
what a hobbit was, what an orc
These are all the
was.
quotes, by the way.
Yes.
So don't say that there's no color in the text, because he literally does use color.
Yeah.
Goblins are green.
Yep.
Orcs are green. I mean,
Yeah.
he literally
he did.
does. So this is them setting us up, knowing that the show is going to be shit. To go, oh, you're just racist. Oh, you're just anti-gay.
No, they tried to. Who the hell are they though?
Okay,
is
so
this like
this
some
is-
fan website or something?
Well,
so I've got
yeah,
this.
but they're one of the biggest.
Mhm.
Oh,
Okay.
It was like
They-
one of the
they-
first when the
they
first
have
movies got like
connections.
announced that got made.
They have connections with
Like
the
with
Amazon
everybody.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they really do. So go ahead, Makini, real quick. What were you
Okay,
gonna
so
say?
they said this is one here. To be clear, oh yeah, so this is
This is
yeah,
after
it-
everything.
To be clear, the debate is welcome on merits of narrative adaptation. Some, not all, comments on the casting of Amazon so far have been extremely racist. The
That's
point being is such
some.
comment is now stupid as the homophobic ones Ian received back then.
And that's such bullshit. They look. They even dug a even bigger hole, Matt. Like they went from respecting the law as code for racism, and then they tried to like cover that up by talking about Ian McKellen, and probably like once again in some random chat room back when the internet was still dial-up, that like some dude was like, "I hate gay people," you know, like.
Yeah.
And no one.
You know what?
No, who knew
Scott,
Ian
Scott.
Who knew he was gay? Who even knew he was gay at the time?
And isn't just some guy? Isn't he a
I
person
didn't
of
even know
color?
he was gay.
He's bi.
Yes.
He's bi.
Yeah, and he's bi.
He's bi.
Oh, he is.
Yes.
So
Justin, is that true?
No, I don't know. I'm not in the know.
No, okay. Also,
Justin,
What do you
keep
think?
your
Justin
people
knows
with you.
everybody?
He's supposed to.
Yeah,
I am
they're
not
like
your
vampires. Don't they
fucking
just like
alphabet
steal each other?
club spokesperson.
It's like Highlander. They're like
Why do
immortals.
I
They
have
just
you on
steal
the
each other when
channel?
they're around
Justin,
us.
Justin,
Diversity,
we thought
I guess.
I could feel a gay man nearby.
Okay, so,
And you spotted everybody. You did all the work. You got them, brought them in. You were a scout. That's what we thought you were. No,
Yeah.
we were all
Okay.
fooled.
We're all
So-
confused. Go ahead, Makini, and then
okay,
Jack.
So when I did the first episode of Makini Live of Rogue Entertainment on my channel,
Yeah.
we covered the situation regarding Larry Hama defending the changes to Snake Eyes, and and he completely misses the point to the fact of Snake Eyes' origin being why he has to be a white person, because he is in fact a guy. He is a guy. He's seen as a guy.
Yes.
Yeah. And the thing is that Larry Hama defended that and called the people who were complaining, they called them continuity purists.
Oh God, is that a
It's
bad
more
word
like-
now?
It's more like a backhanded insult.
What?
Think about
That's some
this.
fucking newspeak
think
right
about this.
there.
I'd have been like, "Thank you."
Okay, yes,
Okay,
I
so
am.
think about this. Thinking people like Stig Kenobi, Lord Callus, OG
Yes.
Star Wars, who are big into,
Or like me and his Song of Ice and Fire.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
who are big into like the EU stuff. Are they continuity purists now?
I am.
Think about
Then
the people who
How
back
dare
are they
you
someone-
be fans of our work? How dare you?
right?
Yeah, it came off as a backhanded compliment.
Well, but
A
also,
backhanded
how
comment.
dare you respect what I created and all the time it took for me to create the lore and the history of the world that I created, you fell in love with, that now on a whim. Like, look, again, we're talking about it this Monday. And I've been trying to talk about it for a month, but Mondays have been hard for me lately. But you know, there was in the new House of the Dragon show, they make a humongous race swap from a Valerian. A Valerian is like an elf-like human. They look like elves. They're white with purple eyes and silver hair usually, or like a violet eye or like something like that, and silverishly blonde, but they're elvish humans, and now they're making one of the characters a dreadlock black guy who is from one of the purest houses. The problem with that is his grandson, or his son is marries the princess of this world, Westeros, and their grandchild, there is a question of paternity between the husband, the son, and her uncle, because they're trying to discredit her. Now, if you have, which the Valerian gene isn't pronounced. So if you marry into you're like a Mediterranean looking person and you marry into a Targaryen family, the child will take most likely on the Mediterranean look, not the Targaryen look.
Right.
So now you have a child that, if he doesn't look like a pure Valerian, if there's even a hint that he has dark hair or a different color eye set, then you automatically know that there can't be a paternity in question. So you're ruining the continuity. I know I kind of said it quickly, but by changing this one character, you're killing the Dance with the Dragons, which changes the whole history of Westeros. So yes, Matt, I am a continuity purist.
Where does it end?
All right,
and honestly, before you go on, this response, this is a go fuck yourself response from me.
What, from the One Ring? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a discrediting. And the funny thing is, this is a discrediting to a black guy. They're saying it to a black
right,
man.
But the problem is it's a discrediting. They're trying to discredit a black man because they don't know he's black because they're idiots. But they're trying to discredit this man by just throwing the race card out there. Yeah. Because that's the only way they can shut him up. And we're 3 away from 50. So thank you, Tina.
And the sad part is that and Soul Sash is one thing. Soul Sash has a point, because I've noticed that this has been an ongoing issue on Twitter and a lot of stuff that people are, and I will admit to this, that I do support. I kind of support gatekeep. I see an argument for gatekeeping.
I get what you're saying.
I see that, but
I don't think I would call that.
It's not gatekeeping, right? Please, Jack.
I don't think I would call that gatekeeping. I think I would just call it protectionism.
Yeah,
just to protect the lore. I mean, they have a continuity specialist at the Tolkien Foundation.
Yes,
right. Jack Shipley, right? Shipley. Yeah.
And he's left the project.
Yes, that freaked me out when I heard that, dude. And there were some continuity issues I had with the Hobbit movies, and he stayed on for those. Right. When Christopher Tolkien died, I knew it was downhill from there, man.
Right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. We can never, if you create something, you can never sell it to these companies.
Nope.
Because if you do,
it has to be
what you created will be destroyed.
You have to.
I think J.K. Rowling's.
But these guys didn't know that.
Yeah,
you know
I was
what
about
I mean?
to say.
These guys that were making this stuff.
Yep. Go ahead, Matt, and then Justin, because I want Justin.
Yeah,
to hit that point again,
like let's say Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, Ditka, and that Julius Cat over at DC. These guys were work for hire. They were paying their rent, just like making up shit and fucking. Yep. And just doing it.
Yep.
Hey, it's like they had no idea that that this stuff would be, this
so
huge. But it's also
they're doing the same thing with
that those guys loved it, right? Those guys loved it, and you could tell that they loved the characters. Then you had the next generation, the Mars Wolfman and the fucking Chris Claremonts. They loved the characters.
They respected.
They were excited to be there. Yeah, there was reverence. Now you're in like generation 4 and 5 of people who really don't give a fuck about these characters. They're just chopping them up.
Just trying to make their name.
Yeah, they're moving on. Marvel is a step to the next thing.
A lot of what that is it's not even so much that, they don't care about it, but they want to change it into something that they like. So instead of creating something new of their own, they want to take something that's existing and change it into what they like.
Because they think they can steal the audience.
Right. Exactly. And they're not creating new, so they have to try something outlandish or provocative. But Justin said something very important. And who did you bring up, Justin?
That would be J.K. Rowling, and
Exactly.
she made it very clear before giving the rights to anything. Like, she put it in her contract clearly that that she had final say.
Well, she didn't give rights. She leased. She leased it.
That's what it was.
So smart.
That's what it was.
So
Anything you do with the Harry Potter franchise, not only does she get final say in it, but she gets a cut.
She gets a big cut
Anything.
Dude, this is a big lesson for new creators. I mean, this
She
is a
wasn't
big
big
lesson
back
for
then.
artists. Like,
Oh no,
is
she
work
had
for hire
3
a good
books.
idea, or do you want to be
She had
co-creative?
3 very
you know?
successful books.
So
You're right.
can,
Go ahead, Christy, please.
Chrissy.
can she continue that? Like, because I know with the
Yes.
with Tolkien and like after he died and after his son died and the whole hoopla that's going on now, but can that like be like forever as long as they're like direct descendants type thing?
Not
Yes,
even
and
direct
continue.
descent. You would have to create. And go ahead, Jack. You might have a better because you're an author.
Foundation.
So
Tolkien
this
Foundation.
is why we have a Batman movie every 4 years. This
Right.
is why we have a new thing in every IP every 4 or 5 years. So long as they're creating new things in the IP, all the old stuff that copyright should have fell off of a long time ago gets renewed.
Yeah.
But couldn't
Oh my
you
god!
create?
Could you imagine Batman being like open? Like,
Yeah, it should
Well,
be according
it
to
should
the law, but because they re-release something new,
Right.
it
locks it
encompasses
in.
the whole IP. Yes.
But what Christy, like, you could create a foundation where in the charter or in the bylaws you lock that in so that whoever takes control, they can never sell the product or change the because look at, even though Christopher died,
George
you can,
R. Martin, we're looking
The
at you, mofo.
yeah. Pick your
but
pulse, asshole.
right, but like look at, no one can touch the third age in Token. You cannot do anything that will affect the third age too aggressively. Now, Amazon might be doing some things in the second age that could potentially affect the third age, and I think that's why Tom Shipley left. I think that's why he left. But
They're messing with the Silmarillion.
yeah,
One
which
one example.
oh yeah, dude, they are.
Dude, that'd be kind of cool as a CGI. If they did like a real stylized CGI, that'd be kind of cool.
Or anime.
One recent example, and I think there's something that I've seen a few people covered it, was there's a dispute with Disney and I think if I'm correct, the original creators or the original rights holders of the Alien franchise, that they were trying to get it back.
I think it's Predator. I think it's Predator.
Because
Yeah.
it hit that 30 year, because it was like that 30 year, there was like a 30-year clause that if you haven't done anything with the Predator in 30 years, the rights go right back to the original holders. And what Disney was trying to do is that they were basically trying to hold off on it. They were trying to, play with the original creators and, then coming out say that they're going to have a new stuff in development as a way to, as a scapegoat, as a way to hold on to the rights to that.
Literally, guys, there have been movies made that were never released just to keep the rights. Look at the 1990s Fantastic Four.
I was just about to say, I was like, I remember watching that.
Yep.
A bootleg version like in 96, 97.
Right.
And I mean, it wasn't.
How we all saw it, right?
Roger Corman.
It wasn't the best one, but like watching the story now, I mean, I'm just like, oh my God, they did them so dirty.
Yes. There's a
the
Thundercats movie in a vault starring Matthew McConaughey.
Yes. Yes. There are many movies that they just had to, they didn't even have to like release it on DVD. They had to make it. And because they made it, they got to keep the rights. Like,
well, it's because they copyrighted it.
Right.
They made it, copyrighted it, and they never released it.
Right.
That is so crushing.
So grimy.
I mean,
they really need to get rid of whatever the hell that clause is. Like that's destroying movies.
They
and
won't.
Franchises.
They won't. That's the thing.
That's what I'm trying to teach people is that if you create something, don't let it go. Don't ever let it go. Set it up so that there is some sort of protection on it, so that far beyond after you're gone, people aren't race swapping your characters. I have characters in my stories that are the way they are because of their story.
So there is a I need to check up on this, but there is a thing going on regarding Berserk since the creator Kentaro Miura passed away recently, on if it's going to continue or how whoever's going to take over after.
Yeah, like I'm about to do my first novel on Indiegogo, and as soon as it's done, I'm going to sell the rights of that to a corporation I will create, and then the rights of everything I create will belong to that corporation, and it will be protected far beyond when I'm gone.
Right, and that's smart. That's smart.
Wait, there's another Predator movie?
Yep, there's another one on the way.
It's called something else, like The Shell or something.
You know what's
like
really
that.
bad is
What they did with Aliens and Prometheus.
Other Predator on the way.
Yeah, Christy, speak, guys.
That 2018 movie, I didn't like it so much. I can appreciate the humor in that fucking movie. I like the one-liners in that movie. For me, like I was just smiling.
Which one was that one?
The one with like Thomas Jane, Olivia Munn.
Predators.
I don't even think I saw that one. That's not the one where they were on the planet, was it?
It had the guy from that '70s show in it.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it was good. I liked
the
it.
one. Yeah,
I liked it.
The story was shit, but
the story was shit.
I like the characters.
Well, there's plenty of stories that are really bad.
No, I'm not talking about the
still
Topher.
entertaining.
No. Fuck the Topher Grace one.
Yeah,
not that one.
Really?
I'm talking about a different one.
Are you talking about the one with
She's talking about
Danny
the most
Glover?
recent one. She's talking about the most
recent one.
I see. I didn't see it.
Where he
with
was
the
the
bigger
Predator armor
predator.
at the end.
With the bigger predator. Yeah. Okay.
Like the whole like apex predator and like there's the original predator is wanting to help out the humans, but there's like an apex predator that wants to basically like come here mofos. But I don't like that storyline as much as the side storylines more than
that's
the
great. That is so great.
Well, and there were parts of it that were so stupid they were funny.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like the one where they took the pianist and they threw him on the island. They threw him on the planet, you know?
Oh, yeah, the planet one was good.
I kind of liked it, you know? I mean, some of the designs I was
he
like...
He talked like this.
Yeah.
I guess that made him tougher.
I've been doing pull-ups.
Well, I didn't talk. I didn't talk for a couple years during WW2, so...
Yeah.
And I recently watched Terminator, the last one.
Oh, God, Dark Fate.
Oh my God!
Were you feeling like
they blow that kid away in the beginning, right? This shit's fucking kind of funny.
What were you feeling? You were feeling like self-annihilating that day or something?
I'm curious to see how bad it is.
Do you want to know a story about that? I had watched Dark Fate because I'm a pirate. So I knew within minutes what was going to happen. But my sister and it was my sister, her best friends. Like we all grew up together, and they're like, "Christy, come with us. We're gonna watch the Tim." I was like, "Oh no!" You're gonna pay for this, and you're actually gonna watch it." And you could tell even by the person who we were purchasing the tickets from. They were just like they literally like it took them. Like, "Are you?" And they stopped themselves from saying, "Are you sure?" I mean, I distinctly remember that.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
so we watched it, and then 2.5. It was like 2 minutes and like 7, or maybe like 3 minutes and like 7 seconds. My friend left, and she wanted a refund. She wanted a refund of that movie. It's just, I mean, it's John Connor. There's no John.
Are you in the same? You're in the same region I am, right? So you're.
Yeah, I live in the DFW area.
Yeah, I do too. So, well, I live in Sherman, but
but I still know where that.
But that's, I mean, it is common around here when you go to a movie theater and you go to buy a ticket for a bad movie, they'll tell you.
They will tell. Will tell you.
Yeah, they'll be like, "You don't want to see that."
Never once have I been told that. They just. I mean, maybe because they're desperate, but.
Man,
I don't know. All I have to say is like I am one more woke bad sequel or reboot to a franchise I love away from just giving up. I'm already done with Star Wars, and you know what? With Star Wars, I want Brie Larson to be a part of it. I want a talking rock. I want
Hey,
all
if
of
you're
that.
gonna burn it down,
Justin wants to see that ship go down
I
in flames.
don't care. I heard somewhere that
He has a point.
Brie Larson
Yes.
was singing
Love the
Star
Death Star.
Trek. Good. I
a minute.
love it.
I missed that.
Fantastic.
What did she? Star Trek?
I don't
now?
know. It was probably
we can
got
at least
recovered or
monetize
something.
it as a
Listen,
community,
you can't-
right?
listen,
Absolutely.
Wait, hold on a second.
I think she's gonna be the Highlander as well. Yeah.
Wait a minute. You can't have Brie Larson and what's her name, Mikey Spock in the same room together.
Why
Oh my
not?
God.
That would
It
be
would just
amazing.
implode. No,
Don't be
it would
sexist.
the world would just implode.
Yeah, it would be like a black super black hole.
Two
Yeah.
gods can't be in the same room at the same time.
Yeah, but
No.
that's why it should happen.
Okay.
I would love it. Our
What's
pockets
that?
would be filled with money complaining about it if you choose to do that. But I almost unironically just want it to happen. I really do. It's gotten so bad. And you know what? I'm just gonna ignore it. And you know what? Fuck the new Lord of the Rings shit. I'm gonna stick with my 3 perfect movies and move on.
Well, let me ask you a question because you weren't here before. Did you watch 2 questions? Did you watch Jupiter Legacy?
No, I don't even know what that is.
It's on Netflix, and did you like it, Matt? I thought it was good.
It's a deconstruction superhero show. It's like The Boys, or there's a couple others.
I heard that was good.
I really liked the comic book. I felt like the TV series could have fucking been condensed down to 1 or 2 episodes, and they could have gotten into the nitty gritty. Like it took way too long to fucking get.
They already
into
canceled it. They already canceled it.
Are you serious?
I want to be like good because it was good. It was off the mark. It was.
You know
it
what?
wasn't
They
the right
did
frequency.
They did some stuff in there though, but they did some stuff in there where they were actually calling out woke culture.
That's why I liked it.
I'm pretty sure people complained about that shit, and that's probably why it got yeet.
And you know what's the bad thing is I watched the series. I liked it. Again, I'm the audience you want to cater to, unless it's A Song of Ice and Fire. I'm the normie that you want to target. But with that Jupiter Legacy, I liked it, but like Matt said, it was very drawn out.
Yes.
And I feel like I was just like, when I watch something I'm not familiar with, that's when I go into like my detective mode of like, with the expanded universe, and then I learning about the solo kids and Ben, and then Alana Solo, and then just like all that the knowledge that's the kind of draws me in. Right. I will never want to watch anything of it, but I'm just gonna be like, hey, I know that reference type thing. Right. But it's just like that always jibes me a lot is when there is source material that is not used.
Right. Well, you know, Christy, that was part of the reason why I couldn't stand TFA. And I swear I was like the only one that I knew at the time that hated TFA right from the jump. I walked in, and the expectation I got from watching the first like maybe half hour of that movie is that they were following the Jason and Jaina solo story. That's what it felt like to me. Everybody says, oh, it felt like A New Hope. It didn't feel like that. It felt like they were ripping from the EU, trying to tell that story, but telling
without
it
giving
in a different
credit.
way. Right. And that's what it felt like through the whole thing to me. And then when they get towards the end of that first movie, they threw that right in the gutter, and that's not the direction they were going. I was lost.
They didn't have a
midway
direction
through the movie. I was lost midway through the movie. I wanted to walk out, but my wife told me I couldn't.
And that's the thing. I can understand. And I mean, with stories, I mean, there's so much. I think people now forget sometimes in ambiguous ending or in a, like cliffhanger or something like that. Sometimes it's actually a good thing. Yes. And it keeps you wondering, keeps you talking about it. But when you have
The Force Awakens was a great example.
But like Scott knows with the House of the Dragon, I'm just like, there's some shit I'm just like, yeah, you can do, but that
we're talking about it Monday. We're talking about it Monday.
I don't know about some of this, but that's what I'm saying.
I don't understand how George could let this happen.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
No, George. Okay. Wait.
Well, I want to hear what
we're talking about. George R. R. Martin.
What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, it's just everyone is a fan because if you read something, and I always go back to source material. If people didn't love what they. If people didn't have a love of the art of whatever it is, they wouldn't purchase. They wouldn't purchase the stuff.
Right.
They wouldn't have the books. They wouldn't have the action figures.
Right.
I know you want. You want me to don't want me to call them toys like I normally call them, but they're action figures. They're collectibles.
Right.
They're toys.
I have never met a real life person who liked either season 7 and 8 of Game of Thrones or any of the sequel trilogy.
Right.
Okay.
I've never met a person in real life who actually liked them and enjoyed them.
Well, you know,
Season
lucky
8,
you because I've met a few.
Season 8,
I have.
episode 2, that's where it stopped for me.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, after that, I mean, season 7 and season 8 had their like.
Actually,
season 7,
all right. Wait a minute. Are you saying episode 2 was good? Because I would say out of season 7 and 8, episode 2 was the only good episode.
Well, let's just say for what it is, season 7. Like, I mean, there was really nothing, so it was coming out of their ass and a lot of stuff. But for the most part, I enjoyed it. I still watched it, but like episode 8, I was really episode 1 of season 8.
Yeah.
I was really underwhelmed by that episode.
Oh,
really
God,
was.
yeah. God, yeah.
And
episode
then
2 was good, wasn't it? That was the one
Episode 2 is
where they're all talking.
They're all talking and they're like, like shit's about to hit
We're
the
gonna
fan.
die.
We're gonna die. And what happens? Nobody hardly fucking dies the next one.
No,
But
what
episode
happens
2
is people scream like they're about to die, and then 2 minutes later you see them, and they're fine.
They're fine. But episode
hated
2 for me is like where it honestly. Well, how about
I'm reliving nightmares right now.
No. But like,
go ahead.
For me, for episode 2 is like the culmination of the battle and stuff like that, and they know he's coming.
Yeah.
For me, that's where I like to pretend it ended, or even season 7 when the wallets at the end of season 7 when the wall is coming down. To me, I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. Y'all should have just left it at that.
Right.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah,
You know what?
Imagine.
You know what's good about cliffhangers though is it sparks creativity.
Exactly.
So when you when I watch something like that, like the Dresden Files, the Dresden Files ended. They just didn't tell the actors it got renewed and let them go get other jobs, and then it was manipulation by NBC. But what they tend to do is when I am really involved in something and there's a cliffhanger, I'll write an alternative version, my own, and explore what could have happened.
Right.
So it's like a creative spark for me.
Yes.
And with the Dresden Files, when they ended that, I went back and got the book, and he's wrote 18 of them now, and they're so much better than the TV show was.
Well,
I never saw the show. Go ahead,
and
Kristen.
when they're cliffhangers, like I'm the type of girl. Yes, I've read fan fiction before and stuff like that. But there are some sites that you're just like, oh, I don't know about this. But there are others where I'm just like, holy shit, this person. I can't remember what series it was, but it was legit. Like 800 pages, like of me having to read, and I read that in 5 hours. That's how when I was working.
There are brilliant.
I was
fiction
so
writers.
invested into that story. I
want to know what this is.
I don't remember. It was either. It was like a Lord of the Rings game of Thrones-esque type shit.
All right, well, if it ever pops up,
type
let me know.
thing.
Let me know.
I can't remember. It's been like 15, 20 years since I've read it.
Yeah.
If you go to places like, if you like Harry Potter, you can go to hpff.com.
Yeah.
Their fan fiction site. And they've got novels that take place in between the end of the story and that, 30 years later when they're
child bullshit.
Well, when they're sending their kids.
No.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
So in between when the story ends and he's sending his kids off to school, there are people with 8,000 pages of story to fill it in, and it's good.
Or even y'all might get a kick out of this, like with Game of Thrones, like the main story. Of course, you have the people who have descended to the kingdom, the kingship, and everything like that. But then there's other little stories like alternate universes of like Bael Targaryen or Dana the Defiant or just all
like historical,
all of those other little stories that sometimes like there's just enough information to know like, okay, I know that's for true, and then you have the ambiguous stuff. I'm just like, sometimes reading fan stuff that people have done is a hell of a lot more exciting than what creators have done.
And George does it for a reason. George doesn't answer historical questions that you really want answered. Like,
where's Yoda from?
Well, no, not that George, but yes, that George too. But George R. R. Martin, like you have the Great Empire of the Dawn, which could have ruled the world prior to like the Valerian Freehold, but we don't know enough about their history. We just kind of know like the Opal Empress took over for the Diamond Eye, like all that, Christy. But like, yeah, you know what I mean. But he leaves it so vague, and he's never going to answer the question. He's never going to give you more because he wants it to be that vague, and I find that interesting and frustrating at the same time. All right, we're going to wrap it up, guys.
I agree.
We're going to wrap it up because I have to be up.
Kind of take it over a little bit.
No, that was so much fun. I'm so happy you came.
No, this is a great stream.
I had a lot of fun. Seriously. I had a lot of fun. Thank you guys for coming. If I didn't have to be up at, if I didn't have to be up at 3:30 in the morning and it's 9:47 here now, I would keep going. But
that's a pickle.
It is a pickle, a twisted one. So we're going to do some quick outros. Christy has a channel. Christy, tell them where they can find you.
I haven't posted like in 2 weeks or something like that.
You still got more subs than me.
I still got more subs than Scott.
That was one of the best burns ever.
Oh my God.
That was one of the best burns ever. I love you,
I need
buddy.
to go back and snip at that so I can.
Please do, because put that on your channel. Just make sure you leave my my channel tag.
Jay messaged me afterwards, and he said he was laughing.
Oh, you got me good on that one.
I got you so good, but it's according to Christy. I pretty much post more shit on Twitter and just like to bullshit on Twitter more nowadays because people are stupid. But make sure to sub to everyone that's on the panel, or just sub to people in general that you like, no matter whatever the channel size, because you know what? People have an art. They love doing this, and so they want their voices heard. So thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you, Christy. And don't leave after the
okay.
Don't leave after the stream because I want to talk to you really quick.
Okay.
Matt, tell them where they can find you, brother.
You can find me on my channel. Just do a search for Matt6Bar, and you'll find me working on Rock and Roll Ninja.
Keep it rocking, my brother.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, you definitely, dude. Justin Proper.
I have a show called This Week in Bullshit. It's going to be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, and I'm actually gonna take the week off after that because I've been doing it every Thursday. I just got a full-time job at a place that I actually am going to be happy at. So
congrats, man.
Nice.
Wonderful, Justin.
Thank God I need happiness after all this time.
God bless you, man, on that one. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
But this is going to be the last one, not forever, but for at least a week. And, when I just kind of adjust to this new thing. And so tune in.
Yes. Well, you're always invited here, man.
I appreciate that. And I enjoy going on other people's channels as well, just because it's interesting, makes life interesting. And continue watching everybody and watch whoever you want to. No one should have to shame you for it, and if they do, they can go fuck themselves.
Hey, Justin, real quick, are you ever going to come to Italy, Texas?
I don't even know where that is.
It's Italy.
Wait a minute, Italy? What the fuck
you're
is
making
Italy?
a joke.
All right, I'm moving on from that one, but real quick, guys, make sure. I love that snort. Make sure you guys go and check out Latino Slant. He is live right now. ETEP is probably live right now. And I know for a fact that Culture Casino left us and went, and he's live right now with Wes Moody on Odyssey, that prick. But please check him out because Wes Moody rocks. Not Culture. Tommy.
Hey everybody, Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. You can find me on said channel, nibbling off toes and hanging with the collective. Lately, the only thing that's been keeping us going right now is our fight with YouTube, and we are going to continue that fight because there are a bunch of son of a bitches in LubeTube. You can kiss my fuzzy ass. Remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or shouldn't watch, because your silence gives consent.
I love you, dude. I love you.
Myself.
Storyman Jack.
Well, you can find me at YouTube. Just look up Storyman-Jack. I have stories, all kinds of genres. I have 2 novels or novellas that are on there that I'm currently contributing to. And one of those will be launching in December as a independent novel on Indiegogo.
Awesome, man. Congrats on that. Machini90.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. My name is Machini90, artist illustrator. You can find me on my YouTube channel where I do draw streams and time-lapse videos every week. Okay, so let me get a quick heads up of just what's going to come for the next rest of this week. So, today, I moved, for those who probably didn't notice, I moved Wednesday's draw stream to tomorrow. So we're going to do it tomorrow at 4, and that's going to be a little bit after the next time-lapse video that I'm going to bring up to the channel. Speaking of which, tomorrow's draw stream, I'm just going to say F it, and I'm going to be drawing sweet suits. So this is one of Princess Peach, and then I'll probably do one of Daisy or Rosalie based on a Twitter poll that I posted up yesterday. So yeah, so we're going to do some Thirsty Thursday streams. So I'm doing some spicy shit.
All right.
And I don't care. Susan, I don't care.
Do your thing.
I'm telling you right now, I don't give a fuck. I already marked it as 18+. And that will continue into Sunday, so we'll be doing swimsuits all summer. Other than that, like I said, I have the Inked Beauties that will be every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. I have a Thursday video that will be at 2 p.m. and then we'll stream right after it. Other than that, I'm pumping out as much stuff as I can, and I'm trying to get to that 1K because there's going to be a change in like schedules and everything at the end of the summer, and I'll let you guys know when that time comes. So, but other than that, guys, I'm at 575. I'm just trying to get to that 1,000 by the end of the summer, and I'm working hard. I am working hard to put out as much content as possible. So, guys, please, if you can, keep up with me, not just on YouTube, but on Twitter and Instagram. We're charging hard. And tomorrow afternoon, we're going to have some fun. I don't give a fuck. We're calling it Thirsty Thursdays.
Do it.
So, let's do it.
Do it. All right, my brother. Yeah, guys, please help him out. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. Everybody on the panel. I'd like to give a big shout out to my Oberyn Martell level members. That's Valliant Renegade, Larry, Lady Tauriel, and Culture Casino. And my highest level is Littlefinger. That is Tina Bojan, Toxic Man-Flu, DoLiFiEd, Jake D, Who Knew, and I love all my hot pie like Christy and
Dude, I was your first fucking channel member. Thank you.
You were. Much. That's why I give you a shout out just now. And like Ben and Lola Meatz and Hawk77, you guys all rock. Thank you for being just anybody who supports my channel with just watching it. I really appreciate it. But yeah, guys, I will see you guys Saturday for as we're now calling it. It's still the dump, but I guess it's called the Sporking Steamer for some people. And then again, Monday, back with another Song of Ice and Fire stream, which we had some people drop by that I was shocked by. So I appreciate that. And thank you to them. But let's stick a spork in it, everybody. We are done. Have a great night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Later.
Nice boobs.
I just got them stuffed.
Oh my God, your name here is not there anymore.
No.
Oh my, George R.R. Martin and
I know.
Rabbit. Oh
Yep.
my God.
Don Cheetah. I'm pretty lucky.
This is amazing, Scott.
I know. I'm lucky. Have a great night.